urban cultivation, starting my immortal path from key refining level 1. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story and all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 201, 6th level of key training. Whoever kills Xuantian will receive a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. Ding Zhe had come to Jiangbei specifically to kill Xuantian before Liu Yangsu could. Initially, he'd thought it would take a while before he could find Xuantian, and he'd already prepared to deal with 4th Elder Liu Yangsu. But who knew that Master Dong would be so reliable, finding Xuantian's whereabouts the moment he got off the plane? Great. That's great. Thank you for the compliment, 3rd Elder. I have always spared no effort in working for the Shadowless sect. This was not the first time that Zhong Wensheng had faced this kind of scene. He felt much more relaxed and chuckled. I have been looking for Xuantian these days and it took a lot of manpower and material resources to finally find him. Haha, good job. Ding Zhe looked at Zhong Wensheng with satisfaction and said truthfully, Master Dong, I admire you very much. There are some things I won't hide from you. The reason why I killed Xuantian this time was to get the 5,000-year-old snow lotus. The sect master said that whoever kills Xuantian will be rewarded with a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. Ding Zhe continued, this snow lotus means a lot to me. It can allow me to live a few more years. Maybe I can use it to step into the late stage of the Earth sect by then. When my true energy is full, I can extend my life for a few more years. Master Dong, you quickly found out the whereabouts of Xuantian, which was a great help to me. In the future, I will take care of you and your children. You can even join the Shadowless sect and become my disciples, Ding Zhe promised. Thank you, 3rd Elder. Zhong Wensheng pretended to be in agreement with the Snake Committee, coordinating with Ding Zhe. He then said, 3rd Elder, there's no time to lose. Let's get going. I can't wait to see you annihilate Xuantian. Haha, what's there to be excited about? Xuantian is only a half-step Earth sect, while I've already reached the middle stage of the Earth sect. Killing him is a piece of cake, Ding Zhe smiled and said, but it's definitely time to set off. Otherwise, when the 4th Elder arrives, it'll be trouble. Master Dong, I didn't expect you to want me to kill Xuantian so much. It seems you want me to get the snow lotus. I'm really touched. Ding Zhe gave Dong Wensheng a grateful look, then got into Dong Wensheng's car and drove off. About 10 minutes later, Dong Wensheng's Land Rover stopped outside the Riverside Villa. 3rd Elder, please go in. I'll be waiting for your good news here, Dong Wensheng said with ease. Yes, all right, Ding Zhe nodded, got out of the car, and strode into the Riverside Villa. Meanwhile, Su Yang had already noticed this and slowly opened his eyes, ending his training. For over half an hour, he had used some special means to accelerate the operation of the Spirit Gathering Array. Normally, it would take an hour to absorb 50 energy stones, but in just 30 minutes, Su Yang had absorbed 100. His realm had naturally broken through to the 6th level of key training, his strength increasing several times. I wonder if my current strength can easily crush a mid-stage Earth sect cultivator, Su Yang chuckled softly before leaving the room. Guo Yi had been waiting in the living room for a long time and accompanied Su Yang to greet the 3rd Elder. Xuantian, at this moment, 3rd Elder Ding Zhe arrived outside the living room. Gazing at Su Yang from afar and tentatively asking. Yes, I am, Su Yang agreed, but he didn't log into Xuantian's account. The 3 people present, Zhong Wensheng and Guo Yi, were his servants and knew his identity. As for the other one, he was sure he wouldn't be able to leave the villa, so there was no need for a disguise. Xuantian, upon receiving the definitive answer, Ding Zhe's eyes darkened, and he sneered, haha, I was just about to look for you, but I didn't expect you to come out on your own. A few days ago, you killed my Shadowless sect Elder Jeping. Today, I'll make you pay with blood, Su Yang said calmly. I'm afraid you don't have the strength, HMPH, arrogant young man. Ding Zhe's eyes glared, and he charged at Su Yang, his palm brimming with his hanky. Faced with a sudden attack, Su Yang stood still, a playful smile playing on his face. Haha, you can't even react, and yet you still dare to speak so arrogantly? What a joke. Seeing this, Ding Zhe, believing his speed was too great, leaving Su Yang no time to resist, sneered, and then struck out mercilessly. 3 meters. 1 meter. Half a meter. As his palm drew closer to Su Yang, Ding Zhe's smile grew wider, his victory assured. But whoosh! Just as his palm was about to make contact with Su Yang's body vanished in an instant. When Su Yang reappeared, he was already 20 meters away. What a speed! Ding Zhe's pounce was in vain, his smile instantly frozen, his expression growing grave. But Su Yang gave him no time to hesitate. He unleashed the A World Away technique once again, his fist surging with spiritual energy. Bang! This time, Ding Zhe was on guard, sensing Su Yang's murderous intent, and hurriedly attacked. The clash of fists and palms sent the aftermath of the battle radiating outward. Ding Zhe then took a half-step back, his eyes filled with horror, muttering, "You're not a half-step Earth Sect master, yet your ki is so formidable, even more powerful than mine, ki? You ignorant bastard, this is spiritual energy." Su Yang sneered inwardly, then said playfully, "Not bad, you can take one of my moves, but I want to see how many more you can take." As he finished speaking, Su Yang continued to unleash the A World Away technique, his figure shimmering and shifting. Ding Zhe, after all, was a mid-stage Earth Sect cultivator, his strength was formidable. He always met Su Yang's attacks at crucial moments. Bang! 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 The two exchanged blows for nearly a minute. Su Yang wasn't a problem. At the 5th level of ki training, he could teleport 50 times in a row. But now, having reached the 6th level, his spiritual energy had significantly increased, allowing him to teleport 200 times in a row. At a rate of 20 meters per teleport, Su Yang could instantly appear 4,000 meters away, greatly enhancing his escape abilities. Su Yang had slowed down his pace, moving and punching just over 60 times in that minute, making it a natural effort. Ding Zhe, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. Each attack from Su Yang required immense energy to counterattack, and after 60 or so attacks, Ding Zhe's ki was rapidly depleting. His mental state was particularly strained. He never knew where Su Yang would strike next. A single misstep could lead to his own demise, and his spirit was nearly broken. Seeing the battle was almost over, Su Yang chuckled softly, "Haha, well, let me end this battle of vastly different strengths." With that, Su Yang formed a seal with his hands, swiftly conjuring a water dragon that charged directly at Ding Zhe. Not good. Ding Zhe's face changed drastically, his pupils dilating rapidly as he hastily threw a defensive move. Unfortunately, his ki had been depleted, and he was already at the end of his strength, unable to withstand the water dragon technique. Puff! The next moment, the spiritual energy condensed water dragon pierced Ding Zhe's chest, and blood flowed profusely. Thus, the third elder of the Shadowless sect, a mid-level expert of the Earth sect, perished, his soul returning to the 9 heavens. Chapter 202 Su Shenbing, I have a granddaughter. After eliminating Ding Zhe, Su Yang also stored his body in his storage ring and handed it over to White Cat to deal with. No, not White Cat now, but Shufan. If Shufan absorbs the essence and blood of these two, she can at least reach the 5th level of ki refining, and there's even a chance she can reach the 6th level. Su Yang smiled softly, envious of Shufan's progress. Humans are worse than dogs. He had painstakingly cultivated for over 10 days to reach the 6th level of ki refining. Shufan could achieve the same level of achievement by simply absorbing essence and blood. How unfair. However, the thought of being Shufan's master made Su Yang feel more at ease. Master, at this moment, Dong Wensheng stepped out of the car, his face filled with awe. You are truly unparalleled in your bravery. You even killed the 3rd elder of the middle stage of the Earth sect. Haha, not worth mentioning. Su Yang smiled softly. With his current ki refining level of the 6th level, let alone a middle stage Earth sect, even a late stage Earth sect member would be easily defeated with some effort. Master, although you've killed 2 elders of the Shadowless sect this time, you must not be careless. Dong Wensheng warned him seriously. I've heard that the Shadowless sect leader has announced that whoever kills Su Xuantian will receive a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. Many elders are eager to obtain it. This should include the 1st and 2nd elders. The 2nd elder is at the late stage of the Earth sect, and the 1st elder is even more terrifying, rumored to have reached the pinnacle of the Earth sect. Su Yang ignored the 1st and 2nd elders, only becoming intrigued by the snow lotus. He asked, are you sure it's a 5,000-year-old snow lotus? It shouldn't be fake. Dong Wensheng replied. The 3rd elder said personally that he'll take your head back to the sect master to claim the snow lotus. Haha, I didn't expect my head to be so valuable, Su Yang smiled. The snow lotus isn't a rare medicinal herb, but after 5,000 years of growth, it must be rich in spiritual energy. Refining it into a pill would surely be effective, perhaps even rapidly advancing 1 or 2 realms. Su Yang couldn't help but think, how can I get the snow lotus of the shadowless sect? After thinking about it, Su Yang came up with an idea. His eyes fell on Dong Wensheng and he smiled gently. Dong Wensheng, I'll give you a task. Take Su Xuantian's head and say that you killed him. Then go to the shadowless sect and find the sect master to exchange for the snow lotus. Upon hearing this, Dong Wensheng dropped to his knees, his face filled with fear as he said, I dare not, master. I am loyal to you and have no other intentions. Stand up and speak. Su Yang smiled and said, your loyalty is unquestionable. Otherwise, you wouldn't be alive today. I would have wiped you out with a single thought. Dong Wensheng breathed a sigh of relief, slowly stood up, and said with a wry smile, then why did you ask me to hold your head just now? Haha, the head is fake, of course. Su Yang looked at Dong Wensheng seriously and said, I will give you a disguised head that looks exactly like Su Xuantian. Do you dare to take it to the Wu Ying sect and exchange it for the snow lotus? Dong Wensheng understood what his master meant. This was a dangerous move, trying to trick the Wu Ying sect's leader. Master, Dong Wensheng hesitated. The choice is yours. Whether you go or not is irrelevant, Su Yang continued, but if you help me obtain the 5,000-year-old snow lotus, I will naturally treat you well. You're only at the Huijin stage now. I can help you quickly rise to become a grandmaster. Su Yang's words were full of temptation for Dong Wensheng. After struggling for a few seconds, Dong Wensheng steeled himself and gritted his teeth, saying, as the saying goes, fortune and honor are sought in danger. Master, I am willing to go. Okay. Su Yang, with a thought, pulled the head of 4th Elder Liu Yongsa from his stored ring. Then, he formed a seal with his hands, and quickly, the head underwent a drastic transformation, gradually transforming into Su Xuantian. The facial features were identical. Seeing this, Dong Wensheng hurriedly took off his coat and wrapped up Su Xuantian's head. He then said, Master, the head is very realistic, it shouldn't be a ripoff, but everyone thinks Su Xuantian is so powerful, he can rival a half-step Earth sect with my strength, I can't kill him. If the sect master asks, what should I say? Dong Wensheng said with a wry smile. That's easy, Su Yang chuckled softly, there are many ways to kill someone. It doesn't have to be a fair fight. You could say you hosted a banquet for Su Xuantian and poisoned the food, killing him. Good idea. Dong Wensheng's eyes lit up, and he said, you just killed the 3rd and 4th elders. The Wu Ying sect must have been unaware. I'll go to the Wu Ying sect and exchange it for the snow lotus to prevent any further incidents. After receiving Su Yang's permission, Dong Wensheng drove away with Su Xuantian's head in his arms. Young master, is Dong Wensheng reliable? Will he betray you? Guo Ying next to him couldn't help but asked. No, Su Yang smiled lightly, unless he doesn't want to live. A few days ago, Jeping, the elder of the Wu Ying sect, took the initiative to kill Su Shenbing. From that moment on, the Su family and the Wu Ying sect were doomed to be irreconcilable. Even if Su Yang didn't kill the 4th elder and the 3rd elder this time, the Wu Ying sect would still take action against the Su family. Instead of doing so, it would be better to kill several elders of the Wu Ying sect first to weaken the opponent's strength. This time, Dong Wensheng was sent to the Wu Ying sect. If he could trick the 5,000-year-old snow lotus into giving him a chance, that would be even better. With a snow lotus of this age, Su Yang was confident that he could at least step into the 7th level of key training. If he was lucky, he would encounter a well-preserved 5,000-year-old snow lotus, and perhaps he could step into the 8th level of key training. By then, even if the peak of the Earth sect came, he would not be afraid. Su Yang. Just when Su Yang was lost in thought, the voice of Su Shenbing came to his ears. Su Yang looked up and saw that Fu Ma had brought his father and grandfather over. Grandpa, Dad, why are you here? Su Yang greeted them with a smile. Of course it's something big. Su Shenbing looked at Su Yang and complained, you kid, when did you have a daughter? Why didn't you tell me? Am I still your father? Daughter? Su Yang paused, then glanced at Fu Ma, smiled bitterly and said, it was you who told my dad and them, right, young master, what did you say? Speak louder, I can't hear you. Fu Ma began to play deaf and dumb. I said. Did you tell my dad about Xiao Yao? Su Yang repeated. What? Young master, why do you just open your mouth but don't make any sound? Fu Ma complained. Okay, go back to the room and rest, okay, young master. Fu Ma agreed, and then her body became stronger, and she ran all the way into the villa. Su Yang frowned, and watched Fu Ma carrying Coriander into the living room, and almost swore. What do you mean, Su Yang? Where's my granddaughter? Is she out of school? Su Shenbing asked expectantly. Shenbing, you didn't ask the point. At this time, Su Qianqin, who had been silent next to him, looked at Su Yang and said, Su Yang, what's the matter with Su Yaoyao that Fu Ma mentioned? Whose child is she? Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and pretended to be ignorant. When did I say she was my child? The thing is, Fei Zhuan opened a dance training class, and she, shut up, what are you making up? I've seen the photos, and the child is somewhat similar to you when you were a child. They say that daughters look like their fathers, which is not false at all, Su Shenbing interrupted first, and then said, and that child also has the surname Su, and she happened to be attached to you. Do you think you can hide this from Dad? Okay, Su Yang confessed, chuckling softly, I had no intention of hiding it. I just wanted to find a chance to tell you that Yao Yao is indeed my daughter, haha, Su Shenbing said excitedly, I knew it. I have a granddaughter, ha ha ha, Shenbing, calm down. Why are you so excited? It's unmannerly, Su Qianqin said calmly. Father, I can't help it. I didn't expect I'd be a grandfather. As Su Shenbing spoke, a yellow school bus pulled up outside the villa. Then, Su Yaoyao, backpack on her back, stepped out. School is so boring. I'm finally out of this misery. La la la, the air outside feels so sweet. Su Yaoyao skipped along, looking incredibly happy, her pigtails swinging back and forth, looking adorable. Granddaughter, Su Shenbing was overjoyed at the sight of Su Yaoyao. He grabbed the candy he had prepared and was about to hug her. Stop. It's unbecoming and you don't behave like a head of a family at all. You disappoint me so much. Su Qianqin's face was as gloomy as water. He stopped Su Shenbing and scolded him coldly. Father is right. Su Shenbing calmed down after being scolded and stood aside with his head down. You should reflect on yourself. Su Qianqin scolded Su Shenbing with a stern face. At the same time, he snatched the candy from Su Shenbing's hand. Then his eyes fell on Su Yaoyao, and his expression suddenly changed drastically. He showed a kind smile, then took the candy he snatched from Su Shenbing and ran towards Su Yaoyao happily. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 203 Great-grandfather is so powerful. Great-granddaughter, you're so cute. School's over, right? Do you want some candy? Su Qianqin ran over to Su Yaoyao, squatted down, and offered her a candy with a gracious smile. Su Yaoyao didn't take it, but glanced at him warily, curiously asking, Who are you, my dear child? I'm your great-grandfather. Su Qianqin gently stroked Su Yaoyao's head. Great-grandfather, Su Yaoyao didn't resist and took the candy. She looked at Su Yang eagerly, pleading, Dad, Su, can I have this candy? Great-granddaughter, don't ask him. Great-grandfather has the final say here. To assert his status in front of Su Yaoyao, Su Qianqin glared at Su Yang fiercely and said, I told you to eat it, so just eat it. No one dares to disagree. Tisk, I don't believe you. Su Yaoyao pouted, looking at Su Yang eagerly, seeking his opinion. Su Yang smiled and said, Yaoyao, since your great-grandfather gave it to you, just eat it. Yeah, thank you, Daddy Su. Su Yaoyao unwrapped the candy and happily put it in her mouth. Yaoyao, it was obviously me who gave it to you. Why are you thanking that loser? Su Qianqin muttered. Su Yaoyao defended Su Yang and said in a fierce voice, Well, Daddy Su is not a loser. If you say anything about him again, I will ignore you. Okay, I won't say anything. Su Qianqin quickly compromised and continued to boast, But, my great-granddaughter, your great-grandfather is really amazing. I didn't brag just now. My words carry the most weight, really. Su Yaoyao's watery eyes fell on Su Qianqin. Of course, Su Qianqin wanted to show off in front of his great-granddaughter, so he said, Back then, two groups were at odds. Each side had hundreds of people. The atmosphere was tense and a fight could break out at any time. At that time, I, the great-grandfather, went over and kicked the leader of one of the groups on the spot. Thousands of people on both sides were stunned. But the guy I beat up didn't even dare to fart. He led his subordinates and walked away in disgrace, Su Qianqian said proudly. Because of my presence, a conflict was resolved. Great-granddaughter, isn't great, great-grandfather, great-grandfather. Su Yaoyao ate candy while applauding Su Qianqian, smiling admiringly. Great-grandfather is so great. At this time, Su Yang asked curiously, Grandpa, when did this happen? How come I didn't know about it? Oh, you were still young at that time. It's normal that you didn't know, Su Qianqian replied casually. Su Yang became even more curious and asked, who did you beat up? Do I know him? Before Su Qianqian could speak, Su Shenbing next to him said with a dark face, you know him, and you are very familiar with him, because that person is me. Su Yang was stunned for a moment, and tried hard not to laugh, for fear that his father would get angry and beat him up. Haha, I'm dying of laughter, great-grandfather, after all this time, you beat your own son. However, Su Yaoyao didn't care about that and laughed out loud. This made Su Shenbing very embarrassed, and he complained, Father, this is all a matter of old things, why are you talking about this? What, can't you say it? Su Qianqian blew his beard and glared. Yes, you can say it. Su Shenbing didn't dare to confront Su Qianqian. After compromising, he said, it's just, Father, I took candy to greet Yaoyao just now, and you said that I was not steady enough and lost the style of the head of the family. But why did you snatch my candy and run over yourself? As he said that, Su Shenbing looked at Su Qianqian, his eyes full of complaints. Su Qianqian said, why are you looking at me? I'm not the head of the family, Su Shenbing, ? Shenbing, you seem a little unconvinced. Su Qianqian's eyes were full of threats. I am convinced, Father, you are right. Su Shenbing quickly gave in, and then he stopped looking at Su Qianqian, but looked at Su Yaoyao, and said with a kind smile, Granddaughter, come and let Grandpa hug you. What, grandfather? It sounds so old. Do you think this is ancient times? Su Qianqian took out 5 yuan from his pocket and said sarcastically, here are 5 yuan. If you don't know your father's name, take these 5 yuan, go to the supermarket or to shake it and come back. Father, can you please stop ruining my show? It makes me lose face, Su Shenbing said helplessly. You still want face? Su Qianqian curled his lips and said, Su Yang is now a middle-stage ancient martial artist, and you are only at this level. You are not even as good as your own son. Isn't it shameful? Su Shenbing's face was dark, but he couldn't refute it. After all, his father was telling the truth. Hey, great-grandfather, grandpa, you two are so funny, Su Yaoyao laughed. Okay Yaoyao, go back to the villa first and let Grandma Furin make you something delicious, Su Yang said lightly. Yet, Su Yaoyao made a request, Dad Su, I won't go back to the villa until you kissed me, okay? Su Yang squatted down and kissed Su Yaoyao on the right side of her little face. Su Yaoyao seized the opportunity, put her arms around Su Yang's neck, smacked him, and kissed Su Yang on the face again. La la la, see you later, Dad, great-grandfather, grandpa, goodbye. Su Yaoyao was very happy and polite. After saying goodbye, she carried her school bag and ran into the villa. Su Qianqian and Su Shenbing saw the father and daughter, kissing each other, and they cried with envy. Su Yang, okay, Yaoyao is gone, now you can tell the truth. Then, Su Shenbing returned to the topic and said seriously, who is your child with Yaoyao? First of all, I exclude Li Fixun, the girl from the Li family. Su Qianqian also stared at Su Yang and asked solemnly, Su Yang, tell me, who is Yaoyao's mother? Dad, Grandpa, don't worry, I will tell you slowly. Seeing that he could not hide, Su Yang said truthfully, at the beginning, I didn't know Yaoyao's origins, and later I understood it thoroughly. Do you still remember Zhang Zuir? Zhang Zuir? Su Shenbing fell into memories, and then suddenly realized, you mean, Yaoyao's mother is Zhang Zuir? Su Yang nodded and said, well, it should be correct. What happened that year? Did the head of the Zhang family say before he left that Zhang Zuir had aborted the child? How could it be? Su Shenbing's face was full of confusion. The Zhang family just said that they had aborted the child, and we didn't see it with our own eyes. Su Qianqian next to him sighed and said, well, it's a life after all. Maybe Zhang Zuir couldn't bear to give it up, but no matter what, Zhang Zuir gave birth to the child and gave her the surname Su. Then Yaoyao is the seed of the Su family. The Su family must shoulder this responsibility. Su Qianqan looked at Su Yang and said in a deep voice, Su Yang, what do you think, happy or unhappy? Chapter 204 They won't come to Jiangbei again. Of course I'm happy, Su Yang smiled. How could I not be happy to have a lovely daughter sent down from heaven? I wish I could hold her in my arms. Well, that's more like it. Su Qianqan nodded in satisfaction, then said, I only took a few glances at Jiao Yao, and I think she's smart and clever, a promising young talent. Since Zhang Zuir sent her to the Su family, we must take good care of her. Su Shenbing echoed, Su Yang, your grandfather is right. As for the Li family, Fixun is a sensible girl. You should slowly communicate with her, and she'll accept Yao Yao. I understand, Su Yang nodded, intending to find an opportunity to explain things to Fixun. Yes, Su Shenbing nodded, then asked, have you met Zhang Zuir? Where is she now? I'm not sure. I haven't seen her. Su Yang smiled bitterly. She left Yao Yao at Fixun's dance class a few days ago and didn't meet with Fixun and me. Alice, after all, it was our Su family who let her down back then. Su Shenbing sighed deeply. Let's not talk about the past. Let's find a chance to make amends. Su Qianqan looked at Su Yang and said, Su Yang, your father has told you about the crisis our Su family is facing now, right? Yes, he did. Su Yang nodded, then said seriously, Grandpa, don't worry. I will live and die with the Su family. It's just an ancient martial arts sect, we can do it. A newborn calf is not afraid of a tiger. Su Qianqan glanced at Su Yang and shook his head repeatedly. The young man who came to Jiangbei and fought with me some time ago was from the Horn sect. He is about your age, but his strength is comparable to mine. Su Qianqan continued, and behind him, there is an even stronger existence. The last time he came, he was alone and almost destroyed the Su family. Su Qianqan continued, a few days ago, I heard about the man who made a move in the Juman black market. His name is Jeping, an elder from the Wuang sect. Our Su family has never had any enmity with the Wuang sect. Jeping must have been instructed by that young man, Su Qianqan said with a serious expression. If he can order Jeping around, he can order the other elders of the Shadowless sect around. The strength of those elders of the Shadowless sect is unfathomable, especially the fourth elder Liu Yuanxu. It is said that he has killed countless people with cruel methods, and his strength has also stepped into the realm of a true earth sect. Su Qianqan said with a worried face, if he is ordered to come to Jiangbei to destroy the Su family, then our Su family will be in big trouble. I also asked someone to find out. The third elder of the Shadowless sect is called Dingzet. He is in the middle stage of the Earth sect. He has a very good relationship with Jeping. They are both his teacher and friend. Su Shenbing next to him also said worriedly, it is very likely that he will come to Jiangbei to avenge Jeping, and then he will inevitably cause trouble for our Su family. Grandpa, Dad, after listening to the concerns of the two, Su Yang smiled lightly. Don't worry, they will never come to Jiangbei again in this lifetime. Nonsense. How do you know those two masters won't come? Su Qianqan glanced at Su Yang and said unhappily, I know you want us to relax, but we in the Su family must remain vigilant. You must always know that a sword hangs over our heads. Grandpa is right. Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and nodded tactfully, not revealing the fact that he had killed the third and fourth elders. His strength wasn't yet enough to dominate the ancient martial arts world, so demonstrating it to Grandpa and Dad at this moment was pointless. Most importantly, he had initially chosen to conceal the truth and had even foolishly sworn in a Su Xuantian. This had left Su Yang somewhat panicked, and he didn't dare confess to Grandpa and Dad, as he couldn't imagine their reaction. Come to think of it, I haven't seen my brother Su Xuantian for a few days. I should find a chance to thank him in person. If he hadn't taken action a few days ago, Shenbing would have died. At this time, Su Qianqan suddenly said, besides, my brother has an unfathomable background. Maybe he can help us. Father, Science went to the Juman black market to wait for Uncle Xuantian this afternoon. Su Shenbing said, I have greeted Science. He will inform me as soon as he sees Uncle Xuantian. Well, that's good. Su Qianqan nodded with satisfaction. We will take Su Yang with us when the time comes. Su Yang has not met my brother yet. Su Yang, I'm sure you have heard more or less about the deeds of the young Earth sect Su Xuantian. Learn more from your grandfather Xuantian and say a few good words to him when you see him. Su Qianqan's eyes fell on Su Yang and said lightly, maybe if he is happy, he will teach you a few moves, which will benefit you a lot. Yes, Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose, agreed, and quickly changed the subject, saying, Dad, Weren't you injured and in a wheelchair? When did you recover? Su Yang was puzzled. He'd assumed his father's injuries would require at least several dozen days of recuperation, so how could he have recovered so quickly? I injected my ki into his legs, and that's how he recovered, Su Qianqin said before Su Shenbing could even begin. Curious, Su Yang asked, can ki heal? Of course. Your father and I both practice the Su family's inner cultivation techniques, and our internal energy is identical, so there's no rejection, Su Qianqin continued. While it can heal, generally speaking, no one would be willing to use ki to heal others because it consumes so much energy, but the Su family is in imminent danger, and our future is uncertain. I had no choice but to heal Shenbing's injuries first, Su Qianqin continued. As for me, I've taken some ki restoring medicine, and I'm almost back to my peak form, so that's how it is. Su Yang suddenly realized that he had underestimated ki after all. He hadn't expected it to have such a useful effect. But spiritual energy can also heal, and its effects are far greater than those of true ki. He had previously used spiritual energy to stabilize his father's condition. However, his father's body contained true ki, which repelled spiritual energy, so Su Yang couldn't release too much spiritual energy into him. Besides healing, spiritual energy, after Su Yang's special processing, can be transformed into energy that ancient martial artists can absorb. Absorbing this energy, ancient martial artists' strength increases dramatically. At this moment, Su Yang glanced at his father and grandfather. His father's strength was relatively weak, at the middle stage of Huijin. If Su Yang intervened, he could certainly help him become a grandmaster. However, this would make it difficult for his father to progress in the later stages, and he would rely entirely on Su Yang's help to continue advancing. Find an opportunity to help Dad become a cultivator. The ancient martial arts system is ultimately too weak. Su Yang decided not to help his father break through. As for Grandpa Su Qianqin, he was intentionally hiding his strength, and Su Yang couldn't tell at first glance, but he was undoubtedly a grandmaster. Su Yang's current abilities didn't allow him to help a grandmaster break through, so he abandoned the idea. Chapter 205, Can we have the feast now? Let's not talk about this anymore. I have to go see my great-granddaughter. At this moment, Su Qianqin smiled and strode into the villa. Father, wait for me. Su Shenbing followed closely behind. Su Yang smiled softly and followed in. As soon as he entered, he saw Su Qianqin teasing Su Yaoyao. Su Qianqin also asked a question, Yaoyao, if your great-grandfather and your father fell into the water and you could only save one, who would you save? Su Yaoyao hugged the stuffed toy and said seriously, save Daddy Su. Su Qianqin was a little disappointed, but he didn't give up. He continued to ask, what if your grandfather and your father fell into the water, who would you save? Save Daddy Su. Su Yaoyao replied in the same way. Hearing this, Su Qianqin felt a little more at ease. He then began comparing himself to Su Shenbing, asking, if great-grandfather and your grandfather fell into the water, who would you save? I would. Su Yaoyao glanced at Su Qianqin, then at Su Shenbing beside her. Her big, dark eyes curved into crescents as she smiled happily. Since you both fell in, can we have a feast? Eat, eat. Upon hearing this answer, Su Qianqin's expression froze, his head a blur, and he froze in place. Su Shenbing was also dumbfounded, opening his mouth to say something, but he didn't know what to say. Su Yang, with a sullen face, came over and scolded, Yaoyao, what nonsense are you talking about? I was just joking with the great-grandfather, Su Yaoyao said with a smug smile. La la la, great-grandfather and grandfather's expressions are so funny, so it was just a joke. Su Qianqin immediately broke into a smile and said kindly, this girl is really smart, ha ha ha. Su Shenbing reacted and stepped forward, smiling, Yaoyao, come on, tell Grandpa what the teacher talked about today. I don't know, so what did you do at school? Eat, watch TV, sleep, and then wake up and it's time to go home. Su Yaoyao's expression fell at the mention of school, and she said aggrievedly, Grandpa, Yaoyao doesn't want to go to school. The TV at school doesn't have my favorite channels, the bed is so hard, and especially the food. It's so disgusting. Grandpa, woo woo woo, can I not go to school tomorrow? As she spoke, Su Yaoyao squeezed out 2 tears, her eyes slightly red. Okay, if you don't want to go, don't go. It's a shabby place like school, so we might as well not go. Su Shenbing tried to comfort her. Really? Su Shenbing nodded and said, yeah. After getting a definite answer, Su Yaoyao ran over and hugged Su Shenbing's thighs tightly, and said coquettishly, "Grandpa, you are so good to me, I love you, Mua, Dad." Seeing this, Su Yang smiled bitterly and said, "How come school has become a shabby place? From childhood to adulthood, you forced me to go to school. Why did it change when it came to Yaoyao? Can Yaoyao be the same as you?" Su Shenbing hugged Su Yaoyao and said with a pout, "I know what school is. It's a place where you can't eat or sleep well. I hated school when I was in school. It was your grandfather who forced me to go. If I didn't go, you would whip me. I suffered, and you can't let my granddaughter suffer too. Are you planning to push me into the fire pit alone?" Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose, turned to look at Su Qianqian, gritted his teeth and said, "Grandpa, please control my dad. It's not okay for a child not to go to school. What's wrong with that?" Unexpectedly, Su Qianqian said seriously, "I think your father has a point. I can't send such a lovely great-granddaughter like me to a torturous place like school. Mind your own business, or I'll have a mixed doubles match with your father, and you'll be in trouble." Su Yang was speechless, with a wry smile. Then, Su Qianqian and Su Shenbing stayed at the riverside villa for a long time. It was a rare family dinner together. Fu Ma's cooking was delicious, but why did they put cilantro in every dish? The lush green embellishment made Su Yang think Fu Ma was hinting at something. After dinner, Su Qianqian and Su Shenbing reluctantly left, saying before leaving that they would take Su Yaoyao to visit the Su family estate tomorrow, which delighted the little girl. At this moment, Su Yaoyao finished her bath and lay down on the bed, with Su Yang sitting beside her. "Dad Su, great-grandpa and grandpa are so fun. I wish I could always be with you," Su Yaoyao suddenly whispered, her eyes slightly red. "Yaoyao." Su Yang's gaze fell on Yaoyao, a complex expression in his eyes. Finally, he said, "You were so young. I don't know what you've been through to make you so worried and hide your identity from me, but I've gotten the news. You, Su Yaoyao, are my biological daughter," Su Yang suddenly confessed, holding Su Yaoyao's hand tightly and saying seriously, "From now on, no one can separate us unless I agree." "Dad Su, how did you know?" Su Yaoyao was slightly distracted. Su Yang gently touched Su Yaoyao's hair and soothed her. "I heard you make a phone call last night. Your mother is Jiang Zuir. I've also found out about this. Don't worry, I'll take care of you and your daughter, Dad Su." Su Yaoyao choked up, sat up, and hugged Su Yang tightly. Su Yang smiled gently and said, "Don't call me Daddy Su, call me Daddy, Dad, Daddy." It was the first time Su Yaoyao called Daddy, and she felt a little awkward, but she was truly happy. She had never had a father since she was little, and even when she saw her biological father, she had never recognized him. But now, she, Su Yaoyao, had recognized her father. This feeling was truly heartwarming. Su Yaoyao hugged Su Yang tightly, afraid that her father would leave her. Unconsciously, her tears soaked Su Yang's clothes. "Yaoyao, why are you crying?" Su Yang gently wiped away Su Yaoyao's tears and smiled softly. "Come, Daddy will tell you the story of Xuantian fairyland." Su Yaoyao's expression suddenly turned ugly, and she pouted and said, "Dad Su, can you tell me something else, such as Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood, or even Pleasant Goat and Big Wolf, or Ultraman fighting little monsters? What's so good about those? They are not as exciting as the stories of Xuantian fairyland. I remember last time we talked about the Xuantian Immortal Emperor being besieged. Come on, Daddy will continue to tell you how the Xuantian Immortal Emperor broke out of the siege." Su Yang became interested and said seriously, "The Xuantian Immortal Emperor has 3 treasures. One is the 9-layered glazed pagoda, one is the Xuanhuang chain mail, and one is the dragon scale Qianqian sword." That day, the Xuantian Immortal Emperor wore the 9-layered glazed pagoda on his head, wore the Xuanhuang chain mail on his body, and held the dragon scale Qianqian sword in his hand. He killed so many people that the sky was dark and the sun and moon lost their light. Su Yang chattered on and on, growing more and more excited as he spoke, as if he had returned to peak form. As for Su Yaoyao, she had already fallen asleep, drooling on the pillow. This story was truly hypnotic. Chapter 206 Splits Leafy Xuan. After Su Yaoyao fell asleep, Su Yang returned to his room and sat cross-legged. He had now reached the 6th level of key training. With a full-strength attack, he could easily defeat a mid-stage Earth Sect cultivator. Even a late-stage Earth Sect cultivator should be a match for him. By initiating a blood sacrifice or using the Underpat's talisman, he might be able to inflict damage on a peak Earth sect cultivator. This was the culmination of his 10+ days of cultivation. While ancient warriors at the Earth sect level typically cultivate for decades, Xuantian achieved parity with those veterans in just a dozen days, demonstrating the power of the cultivation system. Everyone around me will eventually become a cultivator. That's how they can prolong their lives and live longer. However, the Su family's troubles haven't been completely resolved yet. I need energy stones to rapidly strengthen, so I can't spare too many to help them enter the realm of cultivation, Xuantian said calmly. We'll talk about it later. There's no rush. Currently, Xuantian only had 20 energy stones left, which he had reserved for Wang Fuge. With this in mind, Xuantian sent a text message to Wang Fuge, asking him to come to his riverside villa early the next morning. Wang Fuge, of course, wouldn't refuse, and without asking anything, simply replied, okay. After doing all this, Xuantian remembered he hadn't seen his wife all day, so he opened WeChat. Unexpectedly, upon opening it, he saw numerous WeChat messages, as well as video and voice call requests, all from Li Fixun. Seeing this, Xuantian sent Li Fixun a video chat request. Dong 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 dong. Soon, the video call was connected, revealing Li Fixun's stunning face on the phone screen. Li Fixun's hair was damp, likely fresh from the shower. She was wearing a tight black yoga outfit, her long, slender legs spread apart as she performed a split. Perhaps exhausted, her face flushed, and beads of sweat clung to her hair on her forehead. Wife, your movements are pretty standard, Xuantian said, smiling softly as he watched Li Fixun in the video. Xuantian, Li Fixun held up the phone in one hand and said with gritted teeth, how dare you send me a video? Where have you been? I sent so many messages and you didn't reply. I have something to do today, something important, Xuantian said, touching the bridge of his nose. Oh, hearing this, Li Fixun's anger subsided a little, but she still gritted her teeth and said, Xuantian, my grandfather said that if you don't come to the Li family to pick me up, I can't leave the manor. At first I thought he was joking with me, just talking casually, but who knew? He actually did it, Li Fixun said angrily. I wanted to go out this morning, but my dad stopped me. He didn't let me go out no matter what. He also said that I should call you. Only if you pick me up can I leave the house. If you don't come to pick me up, it means you don't agree to let me go out, then I can't leave the house. What kind of thing is this? I'm leaving my own house, and I actually need your consent. Li Fixun gave Xuantian a blank look and complained, it's all your fault. Next time you become Xuantian, don't talk to me anymore. You're annoying me. Xuantian smiled and said, haha, wife, so you stay at home all day, what else? Li Fixun asked back, looking at Xuantian on the phone angrily, and said angrily, Xuantian, one day, a whole day. Do you know how I spent this day? Okay, wife, don't be angry. Xuantian smiled and said, I will pick you up at the Li family manor tomorrow, and tell Grandpa Li by the way to let you regain your freedom. Well, that's about right. Li Fixun nodded with satisfaction, always maintaining the posture of a split horse, and then said, you can just come at noon tomorrow and take me out for hot pot. I haven't eaten hot pot for a long time. Hearing this, Xuantian said, how can it be a long time? The last time we had hot pot was 2 days ago. What do you know? Hot pot is my life. If I don't eat it for a day, it feels like 3 autumns. Li Fixun curled her lips and said, if you're calculated this way, I haven't eaten hot pot for several years. Several years? Xuantian smiled bitterly, and said, okay, wife, you wait for me at home tomorrow, I will definitely satisfy you. Satisfy you big-headed ghost. Li Fixun didn't know what she was thinking about, her face flushed red, she gritted her teeth and said, I will ignore you if you say that again, wife, I find you have become dirty. Xuantian swore that he really didn't mean anything else this time. He was stunned for a moment before reacting, and said with a smile, don't you want to eat hot pot? The satisfaction I said is to invite you to eat hot pot and satisfy your appetite, not to satisfy your cough. Li Fixun's eyes showed a trace of panic when she heard the words. She was ashamed and guilty. Finally, she gritted her teeth and said, it's all because of you. You drive in front of me every day. In short, it's all your fault. Woman, are you making excuses? Xuantian smiled lightly, then with a cold face, he said domineeringly, wait until we meet, and see how I punish you. Tisk, why are you pretending to be a domineering president? You don't look like one at all. Li Fixun glanced at Xuantian. Then he said, I don't want to chat with you anymore. I have to continue practicing yoga. Honey, you already have a great figure. Your waist is slim and your hips are perfect. I'm jealous just looking at you, Su Yang flattered her. If you keep practicing, you'll leave other women no chance of survival. PFFT, Li Fixun was overjoyed and laughed happily. It's not as exaggerated as you say. Really, honey, you're so beautiful and have such a great figure. Marrying you is a blessing I've earned in 8 lifetimes, Su Yang praised earnestly. Li Fixun was so overjoyed that her ears turned red, and she felt so happy. So, at this moment, Su Yang suddenly said, Honey, can you send me some photo albums? What? Photo albums? Su Yang, Li Fixun's face suddenly darkened and said, I knew you had no good intentions. You want my photo album? Dream on. I'm hanging up. I'm going to practice yoga. Oh, at this time, Su Yang sighed and said, I was planning to go to bed, but when I saw your perfect figure, I became interested again, but you left me alone. Wife, it looks like I have to go to a high-end club again tonight, but you can't blame me. Who made you so sexy and aroused my feelings? I can only go to the club to cool down, Su Yang said with a tangled face. Which club should I go to? The girls in Jade Finger Wonderland are of high quality, and the girls in Nightclub have good skills. This multiple choice question is too difficult. Wife, I don't want to chat with you anymore. I'm hanging up first. I'll make a choice while walking. As he said, Su Yang was about to hang up the video call. Wait a minute, however, Li Fixun spoke out to stop him, gritting her teeth and saying, Su Yang, don't go to the club. I really don't have a photo album, but you can watch me do yoga. There are many different yoga poses. I'll show you all of them. They look great. Chapter 207 Too much paper. Watching his wife do yoga? Su Yang's heart was instantly drawn, but he said reluctantly, okay, since you've brought it up, I can't refuse you. Let's get started, Tisk, just pretend. You must be dying to see me do yoga. Li Fixun pouted, then placed her phone on the stand and knelt on the yoga mat to begin. She had a fantastic figure, a slim waist and peachy hips. That's not an exaggeration at all. Next. Su Yang's eyes lit up as he watched his wife strike various poses on the yoga mat, his fantasies already flowing. Absolutely stunning. Her figure was truly stunning, and her poses were incredibly seductive. Absolutely amazing. After more than 10 minutes, Li Fixun stopped, sweating profusely. The neckline of her tights was low, and beads of sweat could be clearly seen below her collarbone. Although yoga movements were gentle, they were also very tiring. Li Fixun felt like she'd been doing a lot of exercise. Her flushed face, dripping with sweat, made her even more alluring. Su Yang, Li Fixun wiped her sweat and panted, how is it? Does it look good? Yeah, Su Yang nodded and said, it looks good, but there's one flaw. What flaw? Li Fixun asked, puzzled. Su Yang replied, it wastes too much toilet paper? Li Fixun paused, then her face flushed, and she said shyly, Su Yang, you are so shameless. You actually did that kind of thing with me on video. You don't know how to restrain yourself. I was doing yoga wholeheartedly just now and didn't pay attention. Tell me honestly, how many times did you do it? What do you mean by several times? Su Yang said seriously, you are really dirty. I didn't do anything. Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and said with a pout, you lied. You just said it was a waste of toilet paper. You have a great figure. Watching you do yoga, I'm drooling, Su Yang said seriously. Is there anything wrong with wiping your saliva with toilet paper? How can it be shameless? Mouth, saliva. Li Fixun's face flushed when she heard this. Realizing that Su Yang was quibbling again, she said, your mouth is on your body. I can't argue with you, okay, it's getting late. I need to rest. Don't forget to pick me up tomorrow at noon. Leaving a message, Li Fixun hung up the video call, her beautiful face still flushed. Sister, open the door. At this moment, Li Kiki's voice suddenly came from outside the room. I'm coming. Li Fixun took a few deep breaths to calm herself, then walked over and opened the door. It's so cold outside, sister, close the door quickly. I want to sleep with you tonight. Li Kiki, wearing pajamas with a Dora-ame pattern, ran into Li Fixun's room. Kiki, it's just the beginning of autumn. How cold can it be? Li Fixun closed the door and smiled softly. It's just cold. What's wrong, sister? Don't you want me to sleep in your bed? Li Kiki was jealous. Sister, you've changed. Su Yang can sleep in it. Why can't I? What nonsense are you talking about? When did Su Yang sleep in my bed? Li Fixun said with a blushing face. It was just 2 days ago. I live next door and heard it all. Su Yang even unzipped his pants and showed you his. And then you even offered to kiss him, Li Kiki continued. I'm embarrassed to even talk about your dirty deeds. It was so outrageous. PFFT, Li Fixun was stunned for a few seconds before coming to her senses and explaining, Kiki, you misunderstood. Su Yang and I didn't do anything. The person Su Yang showed me that day wasn't his, but Shufan. Shufan? What Shufan? Li Kiki's face was filled with curiosity. A teddy bear. Li Fixun pointed at the teddy bear resting in the corner and chuckled softly. That's it. Isn't this Su Yang's pet dog? I think its name is White Cat. Why is it here? Su Yang gave it to me. White Cat sounds bad, so I changed its name, Li Fixun explained. Hearing this, Shufan looked up at Li Fixun from the corner, her eyes filled with despair and helplessness. White Cat was indeed bad. But, mistress, the name Shufan is so vulgar, not as classy as a white cat. Shufan couldn't help but complain, but Li Fixun couldn't hear her. Sister, so that thing Su Yang showed you that day was actually this puppy. I was so scared, I thought it was Su Yang's thing, Li Kiki said with sudden realization. What's that thing, Kiki? What's all that filthy in your little head? Li Fixun blushed in boredom and gritted her teeth. Am I, your sister, that kind of person? No, Li Kiki stuck out her tongue and said, but your conversation was so ambiguous, you praised Su Yang's thing, saying it was cute and that it was small now but would grow up. Before you saw the teddy bear, it's easy to get the wrong idea, Li Kiki continued. I was also surprised at the time. How could you be so open-minded? You actually offered to kiss Su Yang, ahem, stop talking. It's so embarrassing, Li Fixun interrupted. Haha, okay, I won't say any more. Li Kiki looked at Li Fixun and then asked curiously, Sister, how far have you and Su Yang progressed? Have you done anything? No, then how far have you progressed? Li Kiki pressed. Li Fixun and Li Kiki were the only two people in the room. The sisters often talked together. So, Li Fixun didn't hide anything and whispered a few words in her sister's ear. Touching all over, Li Kiki asked puzzledly, Sister, what do you mean? Did Su Yang touch you all over? Yeah, Li Fixun didn't deny it, her face flushed like a ripe apple. Li Kiki complained, Sister, how could you do that? You're so unprincipled, Su Yang and I are engaged. I'm going to marry him sooner or later, Li Fixun explained. What? Su Yang is no good. You've known that for a long time, Li Kiki asked. You don't really want to marry him, do you? Actually, Su Yang is quite nice, Kiki. You misunderstood him, many things in the past weren't his original intention. He was just being schemed against. Then, Li Fixun and Li Kiki lay in bed, chatting about their private lives, trying to restore Su Yang's image. Before they knew it, the next day, early in the morning, Su Yang was awakened by Wang Fuge's voice. Young Master Su, ha, I haven't seen you in a few days. I've missed you so much. Open the door. Wang Fuge didn't hesitate, standing outside the room and banging on the door. Right away, Su Yang smiled, turned, and opened the door. His eyes fell on Wang Fuge, who looked bruised and battered, looking utterly miserable. Young Master Wang, what's going on? Who hit you? Su Yang couldn't help but ask. Wang Fuge avoided her gaze and said with a forced smile, Young Master Su, don't ask about this matter. I have already taken care of it. You are my brother. Tell me, who hit you? Su Yang asked seriously. Wang Fuge saw that he could no longer hide it, so he responded with shame. It was that bitch Liu Chushan. But, Young Master Su, don't look at me being beaten black and blue, but I am tough and didn't suffer any loss, Wang Fuge said arrogantly. Did it suffer any loss? Su Yang smiled and asked, did you hurt her too? That's not the case. Wang Fuge held his head high and said proudly, but I am tough, and I pinched her hand red. Humph, next time she wants to hit me again, she should first consider whether her own hand can withstand it. Chapter 208, First Class Suona Playing Skills. Su Yang, taking a beating, and feeling a sense of accomplishment? Young Master Su, you don't know, I wasn't scared at all back then. I'm just a Huijin ancient martial artist, what's the big deal? Wang Fuge's eyes were full of disdain, and he said arrogantly, she hit me so many times, and I didn't even fight back. You don't dare to fight back, Su Yang couldn't help but say. Ahem. Wang Fuge suddenly wilted and said with a wry smile, Young Master Su, Can you please stop ruining the show and give me some face? Haha. Su Yang smiled, and then asked curiously, young Master Wang, why would Liu Chushan hit you for no reason? You didn't learn your lesson and went to the club again, did you? I swear to God, I have quit going to the club. I haven't even watched a movie in the past 2 days, let alone going to the club. Wang Fuge felt very aggrieved and explained, here's what happened. Yesterday afternoon, Liu Chushan told me that her aunt passed away and asked me to go to her house. I thought to myself, why did you tell me your aunt passed away? Was she trying to hint to me to behave well? Hearing this, Su Yang smiled lightly, that must be it. Did you go to find her? Yes, Wang Fuge said seriously, I went there as soon as I hung up the phone. After all, my aunt passed away. This is a big deal. I didn't waste time, but I thought, I can't go empty-handed. Since Liu Chushan told me, as his boyfriend, I have to show some appreciation, so I bought a flower. Hey, Mr. Wang, I didn't expect you to be so romantic. You even know how to buy flowers for girls. Not bad, not bad. Su Yang couldn't help but praise him. Bullshit, Wang Fuge said with a sullen face, I bought some woolen flowers. I bought a wreath. Why did you buy a wreath? Su Yang asked in surprise. Liu Chushan said her aunt was gone. I thought her aunt was dead, so I bought a wreath to send off your aunt. Wang Fuge continued, I bought not only wreaths, but also paper dolls, paper mansions, luxury cars, and even male paper dolls. I prepared 2 of each, and filled up the whole truck with all kinds of things. Then, I didn't hire a driver and drove to Liu Chushan's house myself. Also, I don't have any other talents, but my suona playing skills are first class. Wang Fuge recalled, when I met Liu Chushan, I played a big funeral directly, and then I didn't feel satisfied, so I played another song of crying 7 levels. At that time, I was quite proud of myself, thinking that I performed well this time. All the burial objects were prepared, and the suona playing was so good. But in the end, I got beaten up by Liu Chushan. I didn't know what she meant by aunt. I thought a violent girl like her wouldn't do that kind of thing. Wang Fuge said aggrievedly, young Master Su, tell me if I'm wronged. Ha ha ha. Su Yang's defense was immediately broken when he heard this. He laughed out loud and said, it's not unfair, you are not unfair at all. You deserve it. You missed an opportunity to conquer Liu Chushan in vain. Who wants to conquer her? A violent girl, Wang Fuge said disdainfully, if it weren't for her beauty, I would have ignored her a long time ago. Su Yang smiled, and then asked, by the way, you said that the matter was settled. How did you settle it? Liu Chushan beat you up, and you didn't care anymore. How is that possible? Wang Fuge said fiercely, young Master Su. Do you think that she beat me and the matter will be settled? From what you said, you didn't let it go. You are tough, young Master Wang. Su Yang gave a thumbs up and asked, tell me, what did you do after that? What else can I do? Of course, kneel down and admit my mistake. Wang Fuge gritted his teeth and said, this violent girl was not satisfied after beating me up. She said that this matter was not over yet. I refused to do it when I heard that. I quickly admitted my mistake to her, and only then the matter was settled. Fortunately, I was smart and knelt in time. Otherwise, Mr. Su, you won't be able to see me, your brother today. As he spoke, Wang Fuge burst into tears. PFFT, Su Yang laughed, so that's how it was settled, young Master Wang. Let me be honest, you are too cowardly. You have lost all the face of a man. Fuck, that woman is unreasonable and subdues people with her fists. What can I do? Wang Fuge gritted his teeth and said, however, I am just enduring humiliation. When I become stronger, I will be the first to settle accounts with her. I must pin her to the bed and restore the husband's authority. Okay, you are worthy of being my brother. You are ambitious. Su Yang smiled and said, young Master Wang, I called you here today for your practice. Next, as long as you listen to my arrangements, within 3 hours, I will make you have the strength to rival Liu Chushan. Really? Haha, young Master Su is awesome. Wang Fuge was overjoyed and said excitedly, come on, I'm ready. What do you need me to do? Don't worry, I'll tell you clearly first. Su Yang smiled lightly, and then said seriously, young Master Wang, the so-called masters you see now are all ancient martial artists who practice internal skills and produce true energy in their danshan, and I will let you become a cultivator, absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, temper your body, and control the spiritual energy. Su Yang continued, the cultivation system is countless times more powerful than the ancient martial arts system. So far, except for me, I have not seen any other cultivators on Earth, Su Yang reminded. I will help you set foot in cultivation, but you have to be low-key and don't leak it too early. Of course, you can fight, but you can't say that you are a cultivator, so as not to attract the covetousness of the major ancient martial arts sects. Can you do it, ancient martial arts? Cultivation. Wang Fuge was full of doubts, and then said seriously, don't worry, young Master Su, I promise not to tell anyone. Well, okay, Su Yang nodded, then smiled. Young Master Wang, come to my bed. What are you going to the bed for? Wang Fuge asked puzzledly. Why all that nonsense? Just go. Do you want to become stronger? Su Yang urged with a smile. Yes. Upon hearing this, Wang Fuge didn't hesitate and ran to sit on Su Yang's bed. As for Su Yang, he turned and closed the door. Then, looking at Wang Fuge, he said calmly, take off your clothes, take off your clothes. Wang Fuge was a little confused. I'm just learning martial arts, why do I have to get on the bed and take off my clothes? However, Wang Fuge did as he was told, taking off his coat and throwing it beside the bed. That won't work. You have to take off your clothes and turn your back to me, Su Yang said. He wanted to help Wang Fuge embark on the path of cultivation. In addition to the spirit gathering array, he also needed to use some special methods to stimulate Wang Fuge's tendons and meridians to increase his success rate. However, Wang Fuge didn't know this and his face turned pale. What did young Master Su mean? Get on the bed, strip naked, and turn your back to him? Hiss. Young Master Su wouldn't be trying to take advantage of me, using cultivation as an excuse to force me to follow him. That must be the case. Young Master Su, I didn't expect you to finally lay your hands on me. I treat you as a brother, but you covet my body. Alice, the most tangible thing is that we can't keep it in this world. The beauty leaves the mirror, the flowers leave the tree, and our brotherhood has finally changed. Wang Fuge took off his clothes and turned around, gritting his teeth and saying, come on, come as you please. Don't pity me, I'm not afraid of pain. Chapter 209 The Bull Dong Wensheng. No mercy? Holy shit. What the hell? Su Yang's face darkened as he kicked Wang Fuge to the ground, sending him tumbling across the bed. Young Master Su, you're really not going to show me mercy. You're hitting me so hard, you little jerk. Determined to become stronger, Wang Fuge threw himself into complete rage. Turning his back to Su Yang once again, he closed his eyes and gritted his teeth. Come on, young Master Su, ravage me to your heart's content. I'm ready, get lost, I'm too lazy to hit you, Su Yang said seriously, just sit still and don't move. I won't be responsible if anything happens, can I just sit still? You'll be exhausted if you do it all by yourself. Don't you really need my cooperation? Actually, I'm quite knowledgeable in this area. I can help you. After all, I have a good lung capacity and excellent Suona playing skills. Wang Fuge let out a scream, then lost his voice. Beside him, Su Yang began to form hand seals, continuously stimulating Wang Fuge's tendons and veins. At the same time, he took out all 20 remaining energy stones, placing them 3 at a time, 1 at a time, into the center of the spirit gathering array. Then, the room was enveloped by spiritual energy, a brilliant glow. At this moment, Ziyin Mountain, Wu'ing sect. After receiving Su Yang's mission, Dong Wensheng had departed for the Wu'ing sect yesterday. That evening, he arrived at Ziyin Mountain with Su Xuantian's head, requesting an audience with the sect master. However, Dong Wensheng's status prevented him from directly meeting the sect master. He needed the approval of the Great Elder. As it happened, the Great Elder was away from the Wu'ing sect, having gone out on business, so Dong Wensheng had to wait inside. During this time, someone questioned Dong Wensheng about his desire to see the sect master, but he didn't tell the truth, offering only evasive excuses. Su Xuantian's head, now worth a 5,000-year-old snow lotus, was a huge temptation for Wu'ing sect disciples and officials. If they knew the package Dong Wensheng was carrying contained Su Xuantian's head, they might kill him and steal it. Therefore, Dong Wensheng decided to explain his situation only to the Great Elder, who would then take him to the sect master. Dong Wensheng knew the Great Elder's character well, a greedy individual. However, the Great Elder valued his status and would not rashly seize his possessions, providing an additional layer of security. Thus, Dong Wensheng waited all night in the Shadowless sect, finally awaiting the arrival of the Great Elder, Su Shamju. At that moment, at the Shadowless sect's main gate, Su Shamju, dusty and exhausted, had just returned from outside. Dong Wensheng hurried over to greet him respectfully. "My humble servant, Dong Wenshen, greets the great elder." Su Shanzhi paused, his gaze fixed on Dong Wenshen, and said calmly, "Master Dong, didn't you visit the Shadowless sect a few days ago? Why are you here again today? What brings you here, great elder?" "I have an important matter to report to the sect master. I would like to ask you to report it to me," Dong Wensheng said respectfully, bowing. "Big thing?" Su Shanzhi frowned slightly and asked in confusion, "What big thing can you have? Tell me about it, great elder." "It's like this." Dong Wensheng came forward and whispered, "I killed Su Xuantian, and now his head is in this package of mine." Su Xuantian. Su Shanzhi became interested and asked, "Are you talking about the Su Xuantian who wiped out Jeping?" "Yes," Dong Wensheng responded. "Fourth elder Liu Yangsu, I received orders yesterday to go down the mountain and kill Su Xuantian, but I didn't expect you to get there first." After receiving a definitive answer, Su Shanzhi narrowed his eyes, smiled softly, and then asked, "I heard that Su Xuantian is quite powerful, and Jeping is no match for him. How did you kill him?" Reporting to the great elder, "Our dog family doesn't have many masters, so a brute force approach is definitely not going to work. We can only outsmart them." Dong Wensheng clasped his hands and replied, "So I took the initiative to show my goodwill to Su Xuantian, tried to please him, and then invited him to dinner at my home. Su Xuantian killed Elder Jeping, making him an enemy of our Dong family. Naturally, I would not let him go, so I poisoned the food." Dong Wensheng was terrified, but outwardly feigned composure. He continued, "I and several other high-ranking Dong family members who accompanied me took the antidote beforehand, but Su Xuantian was tragically killed by the poison. But Su Xuantian was incredibly strong. Before he died, he even killed several of my men." Dong Wensheng said, "The poison must have taken over Su Xuantian's heart, and he was already at the end of his strength. I killed him with a single blow." I heard that Su Xuantian's murder of Elder Jeping brought shame to our Wuang sect, and the sect master was furious. Dong Wensheng finally said, "So, I cut off Su Xuantian's head and came here to present it to the sect master." "I see." Su Shanzhi stroked his beard and nodded as if understanding. Then he looked at the package Dong Wensheng was carrying and smiled softly. "Master Dong, you don't know that Su Xuantian's head is worth a lot of money now?" Dong Wensheng pretended to be confused and asked doubtfully, "Great elder, what do you mean by this? Is there a reward for killing Su Xuantian?" "Of course. The sect master has said that Su Xuantian's head can be exchanged for a 5,000-year-old snow lotus." A hint of murderous intent flashed in Su Shanzhi's eyes, but considering that this was the Wuang sect and there were many disciples coming and going, he put away the idea of killing and robbing. Although he was the great elder, second only to the emperor, he still had to be careful about the impact in public. "Great elder," Dong Wensheng vaguely sensed Su Shanzhi's murderous intent. His thoughts raced, and then he said, "A 5,000-year-old snow lotus, it's of no use to me. If you want it, I can give it to you." Upon hearing this, Su Shanzhi immediately smiled approvingly. "Haha, Patriarch Dong, you're very good. In that case, I'd be very sorry to refuse." "Great elder, you're too polite. This kind of good thing is useless in my hands. Only you can make it truly useful. There's no reason for me to squander it." Dong Wensheng breathed a sigh of relief, then changed the subject and said, "However, great elder, I can't give you the snow lotus in the Shadowless sect. Otherwise others will think you forced me to do it, and it will affect your reputation." "Haha, good, very good, Patriarch Dong, you're really thoughtful." Su Shanzhi was extremely satisfied. He patted Dong Wensheng on the shoulder and said, "You're right. I can't get it in the Wuang sect. This 5,000-year-old snow lotus is not only wanted by the fourth elder, but even the second elder is interested in getting it, but he just doesn't have the nerve to compete with the fourth elder for it. If you kill Su Xuantian and take the snow lotus, the second elder will probably target you, and you'll become the focus." Su Shanzhi thought for a moment, then said, "How about this, Master Dong? After you get the snow lotus from the sect master, take it back to Jiangbei with you. I'll go there to find you after a few days. What do you think?" If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 210, Master Su, you are really not particular. Good idea. Dong Wensheng smiled when he heard that. He was originally worried that as soon as he returned to Jiangbei, the Great Elder would come after him and ask for the Snow Lotus. In that case, if the master wanted the Snow Lotus, he would have to deal with the Great Elder first. He didn't know if the master was a match for the Great Elder. If the master couldn't beat the Great Elder, it would be a big trouble. But now it's good. The Great Elder said that he would wait a few days before going to Jiangbei to get the Snow Lotus. This way, the master has plenty of time to prepare. If the master feels that he is no match for the Great Elder, he can take the Snow Lotus and escape in advance. At that time, he can pack up his belongings, lead the entire Dong family, and follow the master out of Jiangbei. The master must have a powerful sect behind him, and maybe he will be very successful in the future. Thinking of this, Dong Wensheng's heart beamed with joy, and he hurriedly replied, "Great Elder, I'll do as you arrange. However, I'm weak. What if someone attacks me along the way?" Haha. Su Shanzhu stroked his beard and smiled. "Don't worry. Someone will definitely try to seize the Snow Lotus, but don't worry, I'll spread the word to protect you. No one will dare touch you. In that case, thank you very much, Great Elder," Dong Wensheng said gratefully. "I should be the one to say thank you. Thank you for giving me the Snow Lotus," Su Shanzhu praised. "Master Dong, you not only offered the Snow Lotus, but you also considered my reputation. I'm very touched, Great Elder, you're very polite." "This is what I should do," Dong Wensheng said, flattered. "Master Dong, I've asked you for a lot of money over the years. You won't blame me, will you?" Su Shanzhu suddenly asked. "No," Dong Wensheng, feeling apprehensive, remained composed on the surface. "Great Elder, what are you saying? Our Dong family's current success is entirely due to your generous support. Remember where it came from. That money originally belonged to you." "Haha, very good." Su Shanzhu is quite surprised. He hadn't expected Dong Wensheng to be so understanding, and his admiration for him grew even stronger. After a pause, Su Shanzhu chuckled softly, "Master Dong, I won't take this Snow Lotus for nothing. Is there anything you desire? Internal cultivation techniques, martial arts manuals, or weapons? Just ask, and I'll satisfy you." "Really?" Dong Wensheng exclaimed delightedly. He knew he had to appear greedy to lower the Great Elder's guard, so he excitedly asked, "Great Elder, you'll give me whatever I want." Su Shanzhu noticed Dong Wensheng's expression and a subtle smile played at the corner of his mouth. People with desires are easy to manage, like dogs, they can be tamed by giving them food. Next, we need to see whether the dog wants to eat meat or bones. If it is not easily satisfied, then it naturally loses the value of feeding it. "Yes," Su Shanzhu nodded and asked with a smile, "Master Dong, what do you want, Great Elder?" Dong Wensheng pondered for a moment, then mustered up the courage to speak. "I've heard that wearing energy stones can reduce the risk of illness for ordinary people. Ancient martial artists also have some benefits when wearing them, as they can nourish the body. Our Dong family doesn't have any ancient martial arts background. As the head of the family, I've only seen energy stones, but never worn one," Dong Wensheng said cautiously. "So, Great Elder, can you reward me with some energy stones?" "Not many, just 3 will do. I'll keep one for myself and share the rest with my family, Master Dong." Su Shanzhu's face darkened upon hearing this, and he said calmly, "Who said the Dong family doesn't have an ancient martial arts background? The Shadowless sect is your background, and I, Su Shanzhu, am your background. Do you understand?" Dong Wensheng suddenly became nervous, his heart trembling, and he hurriedly responded, "I understand. Yeah, that's more like it." Su Shanzhu nodded and smiled. "As for energy stones, haha, that's easy. Forget 3, I can give you 100. A few days ago, I discovered a mine of energy stones. I'll give you as many as you want." Su Shanzhu smiled generously. "I'll have someone pack it up for you in boxes so you can take it with you when you leave." If Dong Wensheng asked for something else, Su Shanzhu would be more or less distressed. Perhaps he truly didn't care about the energy stones. A few days ago, he discovered a mine deep in the mountains of Jiangnan, teeming with energy stones. In his haste, Su Shanzhu dug up 100 or 2. He wasn't particularly interested in energy stones, they were of little use to ancient warriors. While they were available and valuable, demand was low, making them difficult to sell. If he couldn't sell them, energy stones would be nothing more than stones to Su Shanzhu, so he didn't bother with them. Now that Dong Wensheng had asked for energy stones, it wasn't unreasonable, so Su Shanzhu generously promised to give him 100, hoping to win him over. After all, he had to navigate the city, too. It was better to win them over with heart than to coerce them with force. 100 energy stones. Dong Wensheng was instantly overwhelmed with emotion upon hearing this. Thank you, Great Elder. He had requested the energy stones solely for Su Yang. Dong Wensheng knew his master had appeared at the Nine Gates black market, hoping to buy energy stones. So, taking advantage of this opportunity, he asked Su Shanja for 3 energy stones, intending to give them to his master. But who would have thought that Su Shanja would actually give him 100? Haha, what a pleasant surprise. Master Dong, you're welcome. Su Shanja glanced at Dong Wensheng, a flicker of disdain in his eyes. Haha, he was, after all, an unworldly urban patriarch. However, Su Shanja didn't show it, instead urging, let's go, Master Dong. The clan leader should be in the reception room. I'll take you to see him. Yes, Dong Wensheng agreed respectfully, and followed Su Shanja out. 11:30 a.m. Zhengbei, a riverside villa. Wang Fuge sat upright on his bed, his eyes slightly closed, his hands clasped in a moon shape, his entire being radiating spiritual energy. For the past few hours, Su Yang had been cleansing his essence and marrow, leaving Wang Fuge's clothes and even his bed stained with the filth of egg yolk. Tiny sword body, I didn't expect young Master Wang to possess such a unique physique. The Tali sword body is a prodigy that only appears once in 1,000 years, even in the Xuantian immortal realm. If the old masters of the sword sect knew about it, they would surely devote all their efforts to cultivating him. At this moment, Su Yang looked at Wang Fuge with a gratified smile. This young Master Wang can certainly be well trained. When I return to the Xuantian immortal realm, perhaps I can benefit from his influence. I've already imparted some knowledge of cultivation, including techniques and swordsmanship, into his mind. How far he can progress depends on his own luck. Su Yang smiled, still holding high hopes for Wang Fuge, hoping he'd have the opportunity to become his assistant in the future. A few minutes later, Wang Fuge successfully entered the ranks of cultivators. His current realm was the first level of key training, with strength comparable to that of a mid-stage Huajin cultivator. Fuck, Master Su, what the hell is this? Is it shit? At this moment, Wang Fuge got off the bed, looked at the sheets, then looked at his clothes, and was immediately shocked. Fuck, Master Su, you actually took my shit out while I wasn't paying attention. I asked you to come before, but you didn't come. Now you're sneaking up on me. How rude. Chapter 211, really cuckolded? Su Yang raised his hand and slapped Wang Fuge directly on the head, his face darkening. Fuck you. What the hell? This is the filth of a cleansing of the essence and marrow. What the hell? Wang Fuge paused, then reacted and said embarrassedly, well, Master Su, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. What did you say to me? Su Yang frowned. I'm sorry, say it again. I'm sorry. Bang. 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 After hearing this, Su Yang said nothing. He grabbed Wang Fuge and beat him up, making him scream and twitch on the ground. Alice, the most unforgettable thing in this world is that beauty leaves the mirror, flowers leave the tree. After all these years, we've been brothers, and you actually say sorry to me. It's faded. The feelings have faded after all. Su Yang shook his head and quickly left the room. Although he had beaten Wang Fuge, it was just a joke. Su Yang knew his limits. Get lost. I don't want to cuddle with a grown man like you. Su Yang pushed Wang Fuge away, and then reminded, digest the information in your mind. It will be good for you. Okay. Wang Fuge couldn't help asking, young Master Su, is the immortal heavenly skill you taught me strong? Is it as powerful as my Li family's internal skills? Are you kidding me? Su Yang glanced at Wang Fuge, and said lightly, compared with the immortal heavenly skill, the Li family's internal skills are simply insignificant. One is underground and the other is in the sky. They are not on the same league at all. Haha, awesome. Wang Fuge was very excited, and then asked, what about the reincarnation sword technique? Is it awesome? Of course, Su Yang said truthfully, when you practice to perfection, one sword can cut through the void and span the ages. Young Master Wang, you have the Tali sword body. Your future achievements are limitless. You may even surpass me. You have to work hard to practice, Su Yang said seriously. Haha, great. Although I don't know how strong the Tali sword body is, but Mr. Su, I believe what you say. Wang Fuge excitedly hugged Su Yang's neck and promised, Mr. Su, don't worry, when I become awesome in the future, I will protect you. You go first when there are beauties. You are my brother after all. I won't despise you. Get lost. Su Yang rolled his eyes at Wang Fuge, and then said, "We haven't even started dating yet, and you're showing off first, haha." Wang Fuge laughed heartily, and then said, "Mr. Su, I'm a cultivator now, too. When can you get me a weapon or something?" "That's easy, I can refine weapons, and I'll make you a long sword when I have the chance," Su Yang said with a smile. "Sword? I'm not interested in swords." Wang Fuge shook his head, then said seriously, "Young Master Su, can you forge me a Suona? I'm a first-rate Suona player. My hands were born to play it." Suona. Su Yang was stunned, unable to connect the Suona with such an ethereal and otherworldly swordsman. "Yes, I want a Suona," Wang Fuge said seriously. "Now that I'm so awesome, I need to change my name. Wang Fuge is so unfashionable. I don't know what my dad was thinking when he gave me such a lame name, Tali Swordbody. I'm so awesome, I need a more powerful name. Wang Kidai? Wang Bixwin? Wang Kanglin?" Wang Fuge asked, "Young Master Su, which of these names do you think suits me best?" "I think Wang Batten is a good name." "It suits you well," Su Yang said with a smile. "Wang Batten," Wang Fuge muttered to himself, but before he could react, Su Yang had left the villa's living room. "Young Master Wang, I'm going to the Li family estate to look for concubine Zhuan. I don't have time for you. Remember, don't tell anyone you're a cultivator." "Fuck you, young Master Su, why are you cursing? How disrespectful." Wang Fuge came to his senses, but Su Yang had already walked away. He muttered, "Isn't it just looking for a wife? Everyone has that. I'm going to look for Liu Chushan too, damn it, violent girl. I told you to beat me up. Today, I'll show you why the flowers are so red." Thinking this, Wang Fuge gritted his teeth and left the riverside villa. About 20 minutes later, at the Li family estate, Su Yang swaggered in. The Li family servants hurried to greet him and told him to wait in the living room. Then, Li Shunfeng appeared. "Meet Grandpa Li," Su Yang said with a smile. "Yes," Li Shunfeng nodded, then smiled and said, "Su Yang, have you practiced well today? The Tongshan Pale is the Li family's most precious treasure. You must not let me down, Grandpa Li." "Don't worry, I haven't slacked off. I just broke through today and entered the late Huajin stage." As he spoke, Su Yang released a burst of late Huajin true energy. "Late Huajin stage?" Li Shunfeng looked Su Yang over and exclaimed in astonishment, "It really is the late stage? Ha ha ha, you kid, you are extremely talented. You are worthy of being my grandson-in-law." Li Shunfeng praised him endlessly. "Grandpa Li, you're too kind," Su Yang smiled, and then said, "Grandpa Li, I came to the Li family today to pick up Fei Zhuan to go out and play. By the way, let me tell you, don't lock Fei Zhuan up in the future. If she wants to go out, just let her go." "Hey, Su Yang, there are some things you may not know, and I'm too ashamed to talk about it." Li Chunfeng looked at Su Yang, sighed, and finally said, "Our Fei Zhuan has been having a hot affair with that young Earth sect member Su Xuantian recently. You should know Su Xuantian. You two have some connection." Li Shunfeng added, "Su Yang, I put Fei Zhuan under house arrest for your own good. I don't want you to be." "Hey, Grandpa Li," Su Yang smiled lightly when he heard this, "you misunderstood Fei Zhuan. In fact, she has nothing to do with Su Xuantian. Besides, she is not that kind of person. Just lift her house arrest." "This, okay," Li Chunfeng nodded, his admiration for Su Yang growing even greater. He praised, "Su Yang, I didn't expect you to be so broad-minded. Grandpa Li underestimated you. But you also need to be careful. Spend more time with Fixun and don't let outsiders steal her away." "I understand. Thanks for the reminder, Grandpa Li." Su Yang felt like laughing. He was Su Xuantian, stealing his own girlfriend. "Am I so bored?" After a brief greeting with Li Chunfeng, Su Yang went to Li Fixun's room alone. "Brother, I won't chat with you anymore. My fiancée is coming to take me for hot pot soon. You want to join us?" "Sure, no problem, as long as you don't feel awkward." We have to sleep together tonight?" "That's not possible. It's inconvenient. Who said I forgot about you just because I have a fiancé? Don't be sad, brother. Let's sleep together. I'll hold you, okay?" Su Yang was about to knock on the door when he heard Li Fixun talking on the phone. His expression froze. "Brother? Sleeping together in each other's arms? Holy crap. Could it be that I was really cheated on?" Chapter 212 Little Troublemaker. Unhappy. This feeling was too unpleasant. Su Yang didn't even knock on the door, but pushed it open and rushed in. Li Fixun was startled. After seeing who it was, she breathed a sigh of relief. She glanced at Su Yang and said, "Su Yang, what's wrong with you? Don't you know to knock on the door before coming in?" Su Yang frowned and said sarcastically, "Li Fixun, do you think I ruined your good thing, huh?" Li Fixun frowned with confusion. "Su Yang, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking so weird? How I speak is my freedom, you have no right to control it." Su Yang sneered. "Li Fixun, should I not have shown up and disturbed you and your brother from having a love affair?" Li Fixun's jade face turned red immediately, and she gritted her teeth and said, "What nonsense are you talking about? Who am I having a love affair with?" You're still pretending." Su Yang crossed his arms and said lightly, "I heard it all. You kept calling me brother and even hugged me to sleep. Li Fixun, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. I'm so disappointed, Su Yang." Li Fixun was instantly enraged, glaring at Su Yang furiously. But then she realized that the angrier Su Yang got, the more he cared about her. So, she felt a little relieved and gritted her teeth, saying, "Su Yang, since you've heard everything, I won't hide it from you. I do have a good brother. We often sleep together and talk about everything. I hold her, she holds me, and we're incredibly close." Li Fixun, shut up. Are you trying to piss me off? Su Yang, seething with rage, felt as if a field of grass were hovering above him. He sneered, "Tell me who that guy is. I won't let him off. I'm hungry and I'm going to get some hot pot. If you want to know who she is, come with me. I'll meet her at the hot pot restaurant." With that, Li Fixun strode out of the room with a sullen expression. Su Yang's expression also faltered, and he followed closely, fists clenched, determined to kill that guy. "You dared to cheat on me? You're fucking dead." After leaving the Li family estate, Li Fixun stood beside Su Yang's car and said coldly, "Idiot, what are you standing there for? Open the door for me. You have no gentlemanly manners at all." "Okay." Su Yang gritted his teeth, opened the door, and got into the driver's seat. "Let's go to Sichuan Video Hot Pot Restaurant," Li Fixun said unhappily, not even looking at Su Yang. Su Yang snorted, then started the car, deliberately stepped on the accelerator, and sped away. The strong push on her back caused Li Fixun to lean back, a look of panic on her beautiful face. "Su Yang, abusing your wife is fun for a while, but chasing her is a nightmare. Wait for me." Li Fixun glanced at Su Yang and complained bitterly, while texting her brother to let him know where to meet. Not long after, Su Yang and Li Fixun arrived at Sichuan Video. The hot pot restaurant was delicious and packed. However, Su Yang paid a little extra and booked a VIP room. Su Yang and Li Fixun sat in a private room, waiting for someone to arrive. They didn't order any food, and neither of them looked at each other, each sulking with anger. After waiting for about 10 minutes, a beautiful woman in a JK uniform entered. She was probably in her 20s, with an oval face, delicate features, and fair skin. She was tall, about 1.7 meters tall, with long, straight legs clad in white stockings, making her JK uniform look incredibly seductive. She wore makeup, but not heavy, just a touch of subtle makeup. Small crystals were deliberately applied to the corners of her eyes, resembling teardrops, adding a touch of flair. Li Fixun, upon seeing her, immediately complained, "Brother, why are you here so late?" "Fixun, sorry, I came right after I saw the text, but traffic was so slow," the woman replied with a smile. "Okay." Li Fixun nodded, then glanced at Su Yang and introduced him casually. "Su Yang, meet me. She's the brother I was talking about." "Huh?" Su Yang was stunned, puzzled. "Isn't she calling me brother? Why is she a woman? Her name is Yu-Jet." "Yu-Jet." Li Fixun gritted her teeth and shouted, "You from UG, Jet from singing and dancing. We were college classmates and we were pretty close. I called her by the last character of her name, Jet. Is that a problem?" Li Fixun retorted. "So it's Jet, not brother." Su Yang smiled bitterly. Once he realized what was happening, he quickly ended the Cold War. He ran over and sat next to Li Fixun, grabbing her wrist and saying flatteringly, "Wife, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I misunderstood you, haha, you were so tough just now. How could I be wrong?" Li Fixun folded her arms and sneered, mimicking Su Yang. Of course, this was just an act, she wasn't really angry. Su Yang cared about her, so the misunderstanding had made him angry. Li Fixun could understand. But Su Yang didn't trust her. He was so careless, so he had to be punished. Now, Li Fixun was deliberately making things difficult for Su Yang to teach him a lesson. Wife, I truly know I was wrong. Please forgive me. At this moment, Su Yang gently shook Li Fixun's arm. Li Fixun looked at Su Yang, snorted coldly, and asked, what did you do wrong? Tell me, wife, I didn't ask clearly. I should have lost my temper, let alone questioned. Su Yang was about to explain, but Li Fixun suddenly covered her ears and angrily said, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to hear it. Su Yang quickly shut up and sat aside with a wry smile. None of you men are good. When you make a mistake, you force yourself to explain. You have no sincerity at all. Li Fixun glanced at Su Yang angrily. Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and smiled bitterly. Wife, you asked me to explain. So now you've learned to shift the blame to me, huh? Su Yang, you disappoint me so much. I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Li Fixun gritted her teeth. Alright, whatever you say. Su Yang spread his hands helplessly. HMPH, you're running out of patience now, huh? How disappointing. Li Fixun snorted. Wife, you little drama queen, Judge is obviously a woman, but you didn't tell me directly. You did it on purpose, right? Just wait and see how I punish you. Su Yang simply stopped explaining and hugged Li Fixun directly. His hands and feet began to get naughty. Little drama queen, tell me, are you still acting like a drama queen? Hey, Su Yang, stop touching me. I forgive you, okay? No, tell me, will you still act like a drama queen in the future? No. That's impossible. If you make me angry, I'll show you, okay? It seems that I was too gentle. I have to be a little harder. Ahoha? Okay, Su Yang, I was wrong. I won't act like a drama queen anymore. Okay, that's better. Finally. Li Fixun gave in, and Su Yang was willing to give up. He hugged his wife tightly. And the two of them were very sweet. Ahem. At this time, the beautiful woman in a JK uniform next to him coughed twice and said, Fixun, you asked me to come over. Are you planning to close the door and abuse the dog? Chapter 213 Su Yang's 5 Questions. Hearing the JK beauty's words, Li Fixun instantly felt embarrassed. Her face flushed, and she pushed Su Yang away. Then, she straightened her clothes, blushing, and whispered, Jeje, how could that be? Aren't you going to have hot pot with us? Come on, sit down. The JK beauty smiled, then sat down next to Li Fixun. Her eyes fell on Su Yang, and she frowned and said, Fei Zhuan, he is your fiancé, the most extravagant playboy in Jiangbei. Su Yang, yes, Li Fixun nodded. Haha, although he is not ugly, he is not very handsome either, and he is notorious. The JK beauty showed a hint of dissatisfaction, and then said, Fei Zhuan, how can such a person be worthy of being your fiancé? If I were you, I would not marry him even if I died. It was all arranged by the family. What era is it now? Our country has expressly prohibited it and has long prohibited arranged marriages. The JK beauty instigated. Fei Zhuan, resist. If you don't resist, you will have to accept an unfair fate. Why should you use the happiness of the rest of your life as a bargaining chip for the family? As long as you are willing, I can arrange for you to leave Jiangbei and go to Jiangnan, or go abroad. The world is so big, there will always be a place for you, the JK beauty suggested. Haha, Jej, it's not that exaggerated. Su Yang and I were indeed arranged by our families. Li Fixun smiled, glanced at Su Yang, a hint of shyness, and continued, but we've been childhood sweethearts and have a foundation of affection. Actually, Su Yang is a pretty good person. Those rumors out there are just rumors, don't take them seriously, he's pretty good. The JK beauty heard this and said contemptuously, Fixun, don't hide it from me. Although I'm from Jiangnan, I went to university in Jiangbei and I've heard a bit about young Master Su's reputation. How can someone who spends all day in clubs, partying every night, and even a female mosquito would bite him? How can he be good? The JK beauty's eyes were filled with undisguised disgust. Fuck, Su Yang was upset at this. What the hell are you? You actually said bad things about me in front of my wife. No, I have to teach you a lesson. With this thought, Su Yang's eyes fell on the JK beauty, and an idea suddenly came to his mind. What are you looking at, stinky man? The JK beauty, noticing Su Yang staring at her, suddenly said coldly. Haha, Miss Yu Jack, you said so many bad things about me, but for a Fei Zhuan's sake, I won't hold it against you. Su Yang smiled faintly and said calmly, but, this won't happen again. There are some things I don't like to hear. As he spoke, Su Yang exuded a sense of authority, his eyes like knives, sweeping across the room. The JK beauty had never seen such a scene before, and was instantly frightened. Her face turned pale, and she took a half step back. Moreover, she hurriedly lowered her head, not daring to meet Su Yang's eyes, filled with fear of him. Jejet, at this time, Li Feizhuan asked curiously, "What's wrong with you? Why do you look so bad?" "No, nothing," the JK beauty responded to Li Feizhuan, then came to her senses. Damn it, Su Yang was just a playboy, how could she be so scared by him? I was careless just now. I must get back at this point. I can't let myself be outdone. Su Yang, who are you trying to scare? I'm not afraid of you. I've practiced, the JK beauty said fiercely. Su Yang smiled without saying anything. He just glanced at the JK beauty with disdain and looked away. He didn't consider her an opponent at all, his eyes filled with disdain. This made the JK beauty furious. Feeling slighted, she stared at Su Yang with gritted teeth. However, Su Yang didn't respond, so she didn't continue the conversation. Instead, she said coldly, "Young Master Su, you're really nitpicking. I just told you a few truths, and you're trying to scare me, haha. Miss Yu is well trained, and I won't scare her." Su Yang continued with a laugh, "It's me, on the other hand, who's really scared. I wonder if Miss Yu will teach me a lesson later when no one's around. I'm not that boring." The JK beauty glanced at Su Yang coldly, not wanting to continue the conversation. She sneered, "Young Master Su, after all this time, you don't even know my last name. Who told me it's you? Your name is Yu Jia. If it's not you, how could it be Jack?" Su Yang laughed. Su Yang, at this moment, Li Fixun, who was standing next to him, said, "Jeji's last name isn't Yu. Her last name is Zhang, and her given name is Yu Jack, last name Zhang." Su Yang paused, then said with a strange expression, "Zhang. Yu Jack, Zhang Yu Jack? Do you know SpongeBob and Patrick Star?" Chapter 214 Dong Wensheng encounters an accident. Zhang Yuj. Do you know SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick Star? Upon hearing Su Yang's question, the JK beauty's face darkened instantly, and she gritted her teeth. "Young Master Su, don't call me Squidward, haha, Yuj, what a nice name. It makes you sound cultured." Su Yang continued to tease, shaking his head and laughing, "What a shame, your last name is Zhang, you still say that?" Zhang Yuj gritted his teeth and angrily said, "Fixun, you take care of it. Stop him from saying it." "Yeah." Li Fixun first comforted Zhang Yuj, then looked at Su Yang and advised, "Okay, Su Yang, don't be angry with Jej. She doesn't understand you, so she's treating you badly. Think about it from another perspective. She's targeting you for my own good." Li Fixun smiled. Su Yang thought carefully, realizing that this was indeed the case, and stopped teasing Zhang Yuj. Then, the three of them began to order dishes and enjoyed the steaming hot pot. After finishing their meal, the group left the Sichuan flavor hot pot restaurant. "Su Yang, you should go back first. Jej and I plan to go find King Day and then go shopping together," Li Fixun said. "Okay," Su Yang smiled, then looked at Li Fixun and whispered, "Honey, can we go to the Riverside Villa tonight? I'll prepare a candlelight dinner for you, and we can spend some quality time together as a couple, just for the two of us." Li Fixun blushed as she heard this, and nodded shyly. "Okay, then." She hurriedly turned around and left with Zhang Yuj. "Feizhuan, young Master Su obviously has bad intentions. What candlelight dinner? This is a hangman feast. He wants, well, you know it." I know. Then why did you agree to him? I'm his fiancée. We're engaged. Marriage is a matter of time. He's proposed more than once. There's no point in me refusing. The key is, if I refuse him, he'll find another woman. Why should I push my man into the arms of another woman? Feizhuan, what are you thinking? It's unbelievable. How can you do that without being married? Also, you have to be strong. If he dares to find a woman of questionable character, break up with him and cancel the engagement. That won't work. Men are like sand in your hand. The tighter you hold it, the less you get. If you want to get more, you have to master the methods. Oh my god, Feizhuan, this is the first time I've heard you talk about your view on love. It's really unbelievable. Do you know how strong women are nowadays? They punish men by making them kneel on the keyboard, hand over all their wages, and even leave housework to men. This is the role model for us women. Hey, listen to me. From now on, you, Su Yang watched Li Fixun and Zhang Yuj walk away. He vaguely overheard their conversation, and a smile played on his lips. His fondness for Li Fixun grew with each passing day. Li Fixun was a woman who didn't fight or compete, knew her limits, and was incredibly generous. A wife like her would be hard to find, even with a lantern. But Zhang Yuge, that woman is too bad. No, I have to keep Fixun away from her from now on, lest she learn from her bad habits, Su Yang muttered softly, then opened the car door, got in, and headed back to his riverside villa. Master, but then, a disembodied girl's voice suddenly echoed in Su Yang's mind. Then, a teddy bear appeared beside the car, wagging its tail and saying pitifully, Master, I miss you so much. You don't want me anymore, do you, Shufan? Su Yang smiled. He had seen Shufan before in Li Fixun's room, but at the time, Su Yang, still feeling upset and convinced he'd been cheated on, hadn't given it much thought. Shufan, how could I not want you? You're one of my elite subordinates, Su Yang chuckled softly. Did you run all the way here from the Li family manor on your own? Yes, Master, don't worry. I was very careful and didn't alert anyone, Shufan replied sweetly. That's good, Su Yang nodded, then said, I've got you some blood essence from a master these past 2 days. Put it in your storage ring and refine it to improve your strength before you go protect Fei Zhuan. Blood essence? Shufan's eyes lit up upon hearing this, and she said excitedly, Yes, I knew Master wouldn't forget me, haha. Su Yang smiled, and then, with a thought, he stored Shufan in his storage ring. Wow, such powerful blood essence. Thank you, Master. Swallow the heaven spirit beast dart. Let me swallow it. After thanking Su Yang, Shufan immediately practiced a technique he had taught her, entering a state of cultivation. This little idiot, so eager for quick success and instant benefits, Su Yang chuckled softly, then started the car and quickly returned to the riverside villa. Now, the Nalan family has been eliminated. Ero, the near-Earth sect master from Country D, has also been killed. It's unlikely they'll be sending any more experts anytime soon. Now, Su Yang's only real rival is the hidden figure of the ancient martial arts sect. Dad said that this person is a young man, and for some reason, he's determined to destroy the Su family. But no matter what, this person must die. But with the enemy in the dark, Su Yang must act rashly and conceal his strength. Playing dumb to gain advantage often yields unexpected results. Returning home, Su Yang began to sort through his memories, reviewing alchemy, weapon forging, formations, techniques, and secret arts, things he might need soon. Of course, Su Yang hadn't forgotten his agreement with Li Fixun and arranged for Guo Yi to prepare a candlelight dinner in advance, inviting Jiang Bei's most renowned chef to the villa to cook a sumptuous meal. Time flew by, and night fell. It took hours, but I'm finally done. Su Yang, sitting cross-legged on his bed, slowly opened his eyes, a smile playing on his lips. He then walked down the 3rd floor and into the living room. Young master, Guo Yi greeted respectfully. Yes, Su Yang nodded, then asked calmly, how's the task I asked you to do going? Young master, dinner is ready, and the scene is set. Guo Yi smiled and said, as for the chef, I've already sent him away. Now it's just the two of us in the villa. Young master, I won't disturb you in the young madam's enjoyment. I'll take my leave. Yes, you did very well, Su Yang nodded, then injected a stream of spiritual energy into Guo Yi's body and said calmly, refine it, and you can reach the middle stage of Grandmaster. Now, Su Yang had reached the 6th level of key training and possessed the ability to help Grandmasters improve their realm. Thank you, young master. Guo Yi was overjoyed. He knelt on one knee, clasped his hands together, and respectfully thanked him before leaving the riverside villa. After seeing Guo Yi off, Su Yang was about to call Li Fixun, but at that moment, Dong Wensheng suddenly called. Su Yang frowned slightly and swiped to answer the call. As soon as the call connected, Dong Wensheng on the other end excitedly declared, as if presenting a treasure, Master, I've successfully obtained a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. I've already disembarked and am on my way to the riverside villa. And, Master, I have good news for you. I've got 100. Dong Wensheng was speaking when he suddenly let out a scream and the call was immediately disconnected. Not good. Su Yang's eyes glazed over, realizing Dong Wensheng had met with an accident. Murderous intent instantly filled his eyes. He and Dong Wensheng had signed a master-servant contract, which allowed them to sense each other's location within a certain range. So, Su Yang closed his eyes, searching with his spiritual sense for a moment, then unleashed the power of a world away, his figure instantly vanished. Chapter 215 Second Elder Qin Xianglian. At this moment, on the asphalt highway of Jiangbei Outer Ring Road, a black Land Rover lay overturned by the side of the road, its windshield shattered and its warning lights flashing. The driver was none other than Dong Wensheng. Today, Dong Wensheng, led by the Great Elder, met with Duan Sihei, the leader of the Shadowless sect. Upon learning that Dong Wensheng had killed Su Xuantian, Duan Sihei, true to his promise, gifted Dong Wensheng a 5,000-year-old snow lotus and some healing herbs and martial arts manuals. The Great Elder, true to his word, presented Dong Wensheng with a wooden box containing 100 energy stones. After receiving these, Dong Wensheng bid farewell to the Great Elder and boarded a plane, carrying the box and snow lotus. Not long ago, he had successfully arrived in Jiangbei and driven his Land Rover, which he had parked outside the airport, straight to the riverside villa, intending to present the energy stones and snow lotus to its owner as soon as possible. But just as he was on the phone with Su Yang, sharing the good news, a sudden surge of ki struck, shattering the car's windshield. Dong Wensheng instinctively turned the steering wheel and slammed on the brakes, causing the car to flip. Shattered glass rained down upon him, and the violent impact left Dong Wensheng bleeding from his head, his consciousness hazy, and trapped inside the car. Hiss! Dong Wensheng clutched his head and let out a cry of pain, then struggled to get out of the driver's seat. Suddenly, a figure appeared beside the car, bent down, reached into the car with one hand, and dragged Dong Wensheng out. Dong Wensheng shook his head, trying to regain consciousness, and looked up at the person dragging him. The person was an elderly woman with a wrinkled face and a large mole at the corner of her mouth. Her age was unknown, but she was at least 80 years old. She leaned on a cane and trembled, looking frail, as if a gust of wind could blow her down. Yet, she emanated a terrifying, heart-wrenching surge of true energy. Dong Wensheng couldn't muster the energy to resist this old woman. He trembled with fear, swallowing saliva continuously. It was this old woman who had just shattered the car window and stopped Dong Wensheng. Second Elder. After a closer look, Dong Wensheng recognized the old woman, and his expression suddenly changed. This person was none other than Qin Xianglian, the second elder of the Wu Ying sect, a late-stage ancient warrior of the Earth sect. Yes, it's me. Second Elder Qin Xianglian stood aside, leaning on a cane, her body hunched, a playful smile on her lips. Master Dong, why did you leave the Shadowless sect in such a hurry, without even saying goodbye to me? Second Elder, Dong Wensheng swallowed his saliva in panic, then apologized. It was my negligence. Second Elder is magnanimous. Please don't hold it against me. Qin Xianglian smiled, then said in a deep voice, Okay, Master Dong, put aside these high-sounding words, and take out the 5,000-year-old snow lotus. This, Dong Wensheng smiled bitterly, his thoughts racing in his mind, and then he said, Second Elder, when I went to the Shadowless sect this time, I did offer Su Xuantian's head, and I received the snow lotus as a reward from the sect master, but the Great Elder had already agreed with me that he wanted this snow lotus. How could I dare to refuse? I agreed to the Great Elder. Dong Wensheng said embarrassment. The Great Elder told me to take the snow lotus back to Jiangbei first. He'll come back in 3 or 5 days to get it. Second Elder, I can't give you the snow lotus. Otherwise, I won't be able to report to the Great Elder. Dong Wensheng brought up the Great Elder, hoping to intimidate the Second Elder. Qin Xianglian stared at Dong Wensheng and sneered, I've long guessed your agreement with the Great Elder. Otherwise, Su Shanzhu wouldn't have stepped in to intimidate those who want the snow lotus. However, the disciples, elders, and deacons of the Shadowless sect are afraid of him, but I, Qin Xianglian, am not. A glint of greed flashed in Qin Xianglian's eyes, and she said calmly, Once I consume the snow lotus, I'll reach the pinnacle of the Earth sect within 3 months. By then, the position of Great Elder might have to be replaced. Dong Wensheng's expression suddenly became complicated, and his face turned very ugly. Master Dong, the snow lotus is in the car, right? I'll get it myself later. Qin Xianglian stared at Dong Wensheng, a ball of true energy gathering in her palm. A murderous glint flickered in her eyes. She sneered, until I reach the pinnacle of the Earth sect, this matter cannot be leaked. Master Dong, prepare to die. I'll make you suffer. Second Elder, no, I can keep this secret. I can keep it secret. Dong Wensheng panicked and said, Also, Second Elder, I'm more familiar with the city. When you come to the city later, I can arrange everything for you. No need. Supporting a family is just a matter of convenience for me. Besides, only the dead can bring me peace of mind. Qin Xianglian said this, her eyes stern, and she thrust out her hand. In an instant, the true energy in her palm flew out of her hand, striking Dong Wensheng directly. Dong Wensheng gasped at this, his heart filled with extreme fear, his pupils shrinking rapidly. Given his strength, he had no chance of fighting back, and despair was instantly overwhelming. Roar! Suddenly, a water dragon, a massive energy form, shot out from the 7 o'clock direction. Bang! The next moment, the water dragon dispersed Qin Xianglian's inner energy, yet its power remained undiminished as it charged straight towards her. Huh? Qin Xianglian frowned, her eyes filled with surprise. Then, fearing the slightest chance of caution, she hastily launched a counterattack, ultimately retreating half a step, but still managed to defeat the water dragon. Who's attacking? Get out of here! Qin Xianglian steadied herself, growling in rage. Suddenly, a cold voice echoed from the surroundings, you want to kill my servant? Have you asked for my permission? Then, Su Yang, with a gloomy expression, emerged from the darkness, step by step, exuding a chilling aura. The distance from this place to the riverside villa, as the crow flies, was approximately 2 kilometers. Upon learning of Dong Wensheng's danger, Su Yang cast 100 world-away spells, which was why he arrived so quickly. Master, seeing Su Yang, Dong Wensheng was overjoyed, as if he had grabbed the last straw to save his life. He felt much more at ease and said gratefully, thank you, Master, for saving my life. Yes, Su Yang glanced at Dong Wensheng and said lightly, you did a good job. It's my duty to save you. Let me deal with this old man. You can lie down and rest assured. Yes, the big stone in Dong Wensheng's heart fell. But he still reminded, Master, you have to be careful. She is Qin Xianglian, the second elder of the Wu'ang sect. She is in the late stage of the Earth sect. Her strength ranks among the top 3 in the Wu'ang sect. Except for the Great Elder and the sect master, she is the strongest. Yes, I understand, Su Yang nodded, and then his eyes fell on Qin Xianglian, and a faint smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Chapter 216 Shufan wants to transform? Now that Su Yang had reached the 6th level of key training, he wasn't afraid of the late Earth sect realm. At this moment, Su Yang stared at Qin Xianglian, his lips curled up as he said, you, the Shadowless sect, are truly hilarious, each and every one of you coming to my doorstep for me to kill? Haha, HMPH, what nonsense. Qin Xianglian met Su Yang's gaze and demanded, boy, who are you? I am Su Xuantian, Su Yang replied calmly. Su Xuantian, Qin Xianglian frowned. Don't lie to me. I've seen Su Xuantian's photos. You're not Su Xuantian at all. Tell me, who are you? Su Yang hadn't disguised himself as Su Xuantian when he arrived. He smiled, there's no need to tell you who I am. You'll die at my hands. How shameless. Qin Xianglian, leaning on her cane, sneered disdainfully. Boy, I admit you're quite strong. You were able to withstand my attack just now and even counterattack. But you have to understand that I was just casually striking. Haha, what a coincidence. I was too, Su Yang said with a smile. HMPH, you're so arrogant. If that's the case, I'll show you that there are always better people. Qin Xianglian snorted, then, crutch in hand, charged at Su Yang. Su Yang narrowed his eyes slightly, channeling his spiritual energy, and unleashed the world-away technique for both offense and defense. What a swift speed! Qin Xianglian was startled, a flash of horror flashing across her withered eyes, but she quickly reacted and threw a defensive move. After all, he was a late-stage Earth sect cultivator, his strength was not to be underestimated, and he naturally took Su Yang's attack. Bang! 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 Immediately, Su Yang continued to attack in a barrage of blows, his figure shimmering and shimmering. Qin Xianglian was utterly shocked and could only passively defend, not having a chance to fight back. In this way, the two quickly exchanged dozens of rounds. Su Yang seized the opportunity, condensed his water dragon technique, and swiftly attacked Qin Xianglian. Not good, Qin Xianglian gasped, hurriedly holding her walking stick across her chest, resisting with all her might. Bang! With a dull thud, Qin Xianglian's body was flung 5 meters away by the water dragon's impact. Puff! After stabilizing herself, Qin Xianglian spat out a mouthful of blood, and the walking stick in her hand broke. Su Yang, on the other hand, stood there with a fierce, imposing presence, a playful smile on his face, appearing remarkably relaxed. Late Earth sect, nothing more than that, Su Yang chuckled. Of course, this was a bit of an exaggeration. He was having a difficult time dealing with Qin Xianglian. Young man, who are you? Qin Xianglian demanded, gritting her teeth. I told you, I'm Su Xuantian. Su Yang took a step forward and said calmly, whether you believe it or not is irrelevant. As he finished speaking, a murderous glint flashed in Su Yang's eyes, and a water dragon gradually took shape in his palm. Su Xuantian, isn't he already dead? Patriarch Duang, Qin Xianglian suddenly remembered Su Yang's first words upon arriving. Reflecting, she muttered, Duang Wensheng had already surrendered to you, and was your servant. Indeed, Su Yang nodded with a smile. So, the Su Xuantian head he offered was a fake, intended to swindle the 5,000-year-old snow lotus. Haha, you're quite clever. That's exactly what you're saying, Su Yang didn't deny. HMPH, Su Xuantian, you're so bold. Qin Xianglian threatened coldly, how dare you lie to the Shadowless sect's leader? Aren't you afraid of retaliation from the Shadowless sect? Haha, I've killed several Shadowless sect elders. It's a fight to the death, so why should I worry about this? Su Yang raised an eyebrow and sneered. What? Qin Xianglian couldn't help but ask. Fourth elder Liu Yangsu came to Jiangbei 2 days ago. Has he already been killed by you? Not only the fourth elder, but your third elder as well. Su Yang's eyes glared, and he said calmly, now, it's your turn, Su Xuantian, give me a chance. Don't kill me. I'm willing to serve you. Qin Xianglian, realizing she was no match for Su Yang, quickly knelt and begged for mercy. However, a glint of malice flickered in her eyes. She had already planned to deal with Su Yang first. Once she returned to the Shadowless sect, she would immediately inform the leader and execute him. But Su Yang had practiced for 100,000 years and had seen countless people. How could this little trick be hidden from him? Boom. So, without a word, Su Yang unleashed the water dragon in his hand, instantly killing Qin Xianglian. Oh, Qin Xianglian's face was filled with astonishment. She hadn't expected Su Yang's decisive move. She collapsed straight down, dead. Serving me? Haha, are you worthy? Su Yang sneered, his eyes filled with disdain. Then, with a wave of his hand, he collected Qin Xianglian's corpse into his stored ring. Wow, master, you are so kind to me. This person's essence and blood are so powerful. Shufan was cultivating in the stored ring. Noticing the sudden appearance of the corpse, she opened her eyes and jumped up excitedly. Well, refine it and see what realm you can reach, Su Yang said with a gentle smile. Yes, thank you for the reward, master, Shufan responded respectfully, then said with a smile, Master, let me tell you a good news. I can sense that after building the foundation, I can transform into human form. Build a foundation, transform. Su Yang paused, and couldn't help saying, don't monsters need to reach the spirit transformation stage to transform? I don't know the details, but I really have a feeling that one can transform after building the foundation, Shufan said seriously. Well, I probably know, Su Yang thought for a while, and then smiled lightly. The laws of the earth are different from those in the Xuantian immortal realm. The oppression of the Tao here is much weaker than that in the Xuantian immortal realm. Normally, cultivators can only fly in the Jiandan realm, but the distance will not be too far. However, I have a feeling that I can fly when I set foot on the foundation building stage, Su Yang continued. To put it simply, if in the Xuantian immortal realm, a punch can break a piece of stone, then on Earth, the same punch is so powerful that it can blast open a mountain. The Earth's spiritual energy is thin, and the laws are relatively too weak, so that the constraints on cultivators are countless times smaller. Su Yang smiled. You can transform when you build your foundation. If you think about it carefully, it is reasonable. Yeah, Shufan nodded as if she understood, and then said shyly, Master, are you looking forward to seeing me transform into human form? Haha, looking forward to it? Su Yang smiled casually. I'm looking forward to it too. Transforming into human form will make it easier for me to serve the master. Shufan said shyly. Su Yang paused. Serving, that's a bit ambiguous. Su Yang quickly regained his composure and stopped communicating with Shufan. His gaze fell on Duang Wensheng. Master, at this moment, Duang Wensheng was surprised and delighted, and said with admiration, I didn't expect your strength to be so strong. Even the second elder in the late stage of the Earth sect is no match for you. Incredible. Duang Wensheng never expected that the master's fighting power would be so terrifying. At the same time, he became more determined to follow Su Yang, and even felt that this was the best decision he had ever made. Then, Dong Wenxian, despite his serious injuries, took out a wooden box from the car, half knelt on the ground, and said respectfully, "Master, this is a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. In addition, I have found 100 energy stones for you. Please take a look, Master." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 217 Su Yang's Plot. Snow Lotus. Energy Stone. Su Yang smiled at the words and turned his gaze to the wooden box. Inside, a pile of energy stones lay. On top, a 40-centimeter long wooden box emanated spiritual energy. Su Yang stepped forward, took the box, and upon opening it, he saw a snow-white flower nestled within. It was a snow lotus. He was instantly delighted. This snow lotus is truly 5,000 years old, and so well preserved. Su Yang immediately placed it in his storage ring, intending to find time to refine it into a medicinal elixir. By then, he would be able to reach the 7th level of key training. After his excitement subsided, Su Yang looked at Dong Wenxian and said with satisfaction, "Dong Wen, you've done me a great favor. I must reward you handsomely." With that, Su Yang injected 2 streams of energy into Dong Wenxian's body. Dong Wenxian had only sustained minor injuries, and one of the streams healed them instantly. The second stream would be used to achieve a breakthrough. After you go back, refine the energy in your body, and you should be able to reach the middle stage of Grandmaster. Su Yang smiled and said, consider it as the reward for your risky action to retrieve the snow lotus." "Thank you, Master." Dong Wenxian felt the changes in his body and was immediately surprised. After he reacted, he hurriedly expressed his loyalty. "In the future, I will do my best to share the worries of the Master." "Yeah." Su Yang smiled, turned his gaze to the wooden box, and asked curiously, "Dong Wenxian, how did you get these 100 energy stones?" Reporting to the Master, "This is a reward from the Great Elder." Dong Wenxian did not dare to hide it, and said truthfully, "After I arrived at the Shadowless sect, I first met the Great Elder." Then, Dong Wenxian told Su Yang everything that happened in the Shadowless sect. "Haha, this Great Elder actually helped you invisibly." Su Yang smiled, then squinted his eyes and said, "Energy stones are not something that can be found everywhere. The Jigman black market only raised 200 from me, and this Great Elder, you asked him for 3, but he gave you 100. It's unreasonable." Su Yang asked in confusion, "Dong Wenxian, what's the situation with the Great Elder? Why is he so generous? Does he have a mine at home, Master?" Dong Wenxian smiled and said, "You are right, Great Elder, he really has a mine." "Huh?" Su Yang was just joking about having a mine at home, but he didn't expect that his words would become a reality. "Master, it's like this," Dong Wenxian hurriedly explained. "The Great Elder accidentally let it slip that a few days ago, he discovered an energy stone mine in a mountain somewhere in the south of the Yangtze River. These 100 energy stones came from that mine. He also told me he could have as many energy stones as he wanted." "What?" Su Yang's heart trembled. For the first time since his rebirth, he felt so excited. An energy stone mine, that's a spiritual vein. Spirit stones are a vital resource in the world of cultivation. Therefore, spiritual veins are highly sought after by cultivators, and every discovery of a spiritual vein is met with bloodshed. I never thought a spiritual vein could exist on Earth, with its thin spiritual energy. God bless me. However, I must remain calm. The more this is going on, the less impatient I must be." Dong Wenxian, Su Yang calmed down and asked calmly, "What realm is this Great Elder at?" "Peak of the Earth sect," Dong Wenxian said respectfully. "Peak?" Su Yang frowned. He had already reached the 6th level of key training. If he performed the blood sacrifice, combined with the previously refined Underpat's talisman, he had a chance of wiping out the Peak of the Earth sect, but the risk was too great to take. If he could reach the 7th level of key training, facing the Great Elder would be no problem. With this thought in mind, Su Yang's gaze fell on the snow lotus, and he pondered for a moment. Then, Su Yang looked at Dong Wenxian and asked, "Dong Wenxian, can you contact the Great Elder?" "Yes." Dong Wenxian nodded and said respectfully, "Master, what do you want?" "I want you to contact the Great Elder and ask him to bring all the energy stones to Jiangbei and tell him." Su Yang paused, then smiled. The Great Elder discovered an energy stone mine, but he didn't mine too many. He probably thought it would be difficult to sell and couldn't be converted into money. Just tell him you've found the market and ask him to bring the energy stones to Jiangbei to sell. He'll definitely come. Su Yang narrowed his eyes and sneered. When he comes, I'll take the energy stones and force him to tell me the whereabouts of the energy stone mine. Yes, this time, Dong Wensheng didn't question Su Yang's strength. Instead, he asked, Master, energy stones are very valuable. If there is a market, one energy stone would be worth at least 3 to 5 million. The Great Elder should have a lot of energy stones, and the purchase price would be staggering. If he asks who the buyers, how can I answer without arousing his suspicion? That's easy. Su Yang smiled softly. Just tell the Great Elder that the Nine Gates Black Market plans to buy a large number of energy stones. The transaction will take place right there. I'll inform the people there in advance. Okay, considering the time, I just arrived in Jiangbei and immediately claimed I'd found a buyer. That wouldn't be appropriate. Master, tomorrow morning, I'll contact the Great Elder and lure him to Jiangbei. Dong Wensheng responded with awe, unfazed by his master's ability to deal with the Great Elder. Because now, in his eyes, his master was invincible, never taking on anything he wasn't sure of. Well, fine, you go back first. Su Yang nodded, then smiled. Follow me and do your best. I guarantee you'll reach a terrifying level of growth within a year. Thank you, Master. Dong Wensheng clasped his fists, bowed, and thanked him gratefully before disappearing into the night. After watching Dong Wensheng walk away, Su Yang stored the wooden box containing the energy stones in his stored ring. He then took out a 5,000-year-old snow lotus and examined it carefully, muttering, 7th level of key refining, I rely on this. Suddenly, Su Yang sensed something amiss with the snow lotus. Upon closer inspection, he discovered it contained a highly toxic substance. This poison had clearly been deliberately planted there, with such skill that ordinary people wouldn't be able to detect it, yet Su Yang couldn't hide it. Interesting. Who would poison the snow lotus? Could it be that Dong Wensheng has been exposed, and the Great Elder wants to use this to kill me? Su Yang frowned, but quickly denied this speculation, shaking his head and saying, a 5,000-year-old snow lotus is extremely precious. Even if the Great Elder had seen through Dong Wensheng, he wouldn't have been willing to go to such a great lengths to poison me with it. Besides, the second elder just tried to snatch the snow lotus away. This is clearly not a conspiracy by the Shadowless sect, excluding the Great Elder. Who else would have poisoned it? Su Yang murmured. The snow lotus was given by the Shadowless sect master as a reward for whoever kills Su Xuantian. This matter is already very strange. In their eyes, Su Xuantian is only a half-step Earth sect master. Su Xuantian's head is not worthy of this snow lotus. Then why did the Shadowless sect master go to such great lengths to reward whoever killed Su Xuantian with the snow lotus? According to Dong Wensheng, besides the sect master, the most powerful person in the Shadowless sect is the Great Elder. Whether the 4th Elder or the 3rd Elder, they have no right to compete with the Great Elder for the snow lotus. Even if they get it, it will probably end up in the hands of the Great Elder. Su Yang speculated, could it be that the Wuang sect's leader wants to use the snow lotus to poison the Great Elder? Forget it, why bother overthinking it? This is none of my business. Su Yang smiled and said, this kind of poison can be eliminated with a little manipulation using my spiritual energy. It won't have much impact on me. Now that I have the snow lotus, I naturally won't miss it, but Fei Zhuan should be at the villa by now. Let's have a candlelight dinner. With this thought, Su Yang put the snow lotus into his stored ring and then disappeared. He had used up a lot of spiritual energy just now, so he didn't use the A World Away technique again. At this moment, Zian Mountain, Wuang sect atop the mountain, a middle-aged man in a robe stood with his hands behind his back. He was the Wuang sect's leader, Duan Sihei. Chapter 218, Shi Zhuan, the young man in green. The Shadowless sect, occupying Zian Mountain, is a newly emerging power, so its influence is relatively weak among the numerous ancient martial arts sects. Although it often boasts of being a medium-sized sect, it is, in reality, a small sect with relatively few disciples and a limited number of experts. However, the Shadowless sect's continued presence in the ancient martial arts world is entirely due to its leader, Duan Sihei. Duan Sihei, a brilliant man, is less than 60 years old and has become renowned in recent years. 20 years ago, he founded the Shadowless sect in Zian Mountain. Over the past 2 decades, he has recruited experts and disciples, and the Shadowless sect has gradually grown in prominence. It's no exaggeration to say that the Shadowless sect is solely supported by Duan Sihe, otherwise, it would have been swallowed up by other sects long ago. As for Duan Sihe's strength, he hasn't used his skills for a long time, and his power can only be described as unfathomable. It is said that Duan Sihe once spent time in the Fengshan area, suggesting some connection to the area. Consequently, many ancient martial arts sects are reluctant to provoke the Shadowless sect. In short, Duan Sihe was the lord of the Wuang sect, towering above all others. At that moment, he stood atop the mountain, gazing into the distance. Without a trace of ki emanating from him, he looked like an ordinary person. Master, suddenly, a Wuang sect disciple stepped forward, knelt on one knee, and said respectfully, Duang Wensheng has already left the Wuang sect with a snow lotus. Yes, I understand. You may leave, Duan Sihe said flatly, waving his hand. Yes, the disciple responded respectfully, then stooped and retreated 4 or 5 meters, away from Duan Sihe. Only then did he dare to straighten his back and stride away from the mountain top. Sensing the disciple's retreat, Duan Sihe narrowed his eyes slightly, a sneer playing on the corner of his mouth. Su Shanju, with your temperament, you definitely won't let this snow lotus go. If nothing unexpected happens, the snow lotus will fall into your hands, and I've infused the snow lotus with a deadly poison I concocted myself. You'll never detect it. This poison is fatal to anyone who touches it, let alone swallow it. Haha, Duan Sihe laughed at first, then sullenly said, Great Elder, don't blame me. Blame yourself. Some things don't belong to you. You just need to hand them over after you get them. Why hide them? Aren't you courting death? Su Yang's guess was correct. Duan Sihe, the leader of the Shadowless sect, had deliberately hidden poison in the snow lotus with the express purpose of killing Great Elder Su Shanju. A few days ago, Su Shanju had discovered an energy stone mine in the mountains of Jiangnan and also obtained a precious treasure. This discovery reached the Fengshan land. While they weren't interested in the energy stones, they were deeply concerned about the treasure. The Fengshan land then sent agents to find Duan Sihe, informing him of the situation and ordering him to cooperate with the Fengshan land to secure the treasure. Duan Sihe, a gifted cultivator, had previously practiced there, but due to unforeseen circumstances, he was expelled. Therefore, he could only obey the Fengshan land's orders, daring not to object. Duan Sihe initially planned to use force to suppress the Great Elder and reclaim the treasure. But the agents from the Fengshan land overruled this plan. The Great Elder's treasure was too valuable and could quickly boost his strength. Neither could he alert the enemy nor force it, lest the Great Elder become desperate and destroy the treasure, a fate worse than the outcome. Coincidentally, news of Su Xuantian's assassination of the Wuang sect elder in Zhangbei was making headlines. Duan Sihe, observing this, hatched a plan. He prepared a 5,000-year-old snow lotus to lure the Great Elder to his death. In the Wuang sect, aside from the sect master, the Great Elder was the most powerful and held the most power, truly second only to the Great Elder. Therefore, Duan Sihe was certain that the snow lotus would fall into the Great Elder's hands. The Great Elder was determined to obtain the snow lotus, as it could prolong life, exactly what he needed. What a shame. A 5,000-year-old snow lotus was wasted. It's a precious medicine bestowed upon me by the Fengshan land. Duan Sihe felt a touch of regret. Sect Master Duan, suddenly, a cold voice abruptly echoed through the darkness. Immediately afterwards, a young man in a turquoise robe suddenly appeared, standing behind Duan Sihe. He had flowing hair and was dressed in ancient attire. His features were handsome and three-dimensional, with a prominent, high, hooked nose. At that moment, a faint smile graced his face as he spoke. It's just a 5,000-year-old snow lotus. What's so regrettable about it? I promise you, after the task is completed, I'll apply to the Fengshan side and receive a more generous reward. Young Master Shi, Duan Sihe, realizing what was happening, quickly turned back, cupped his fists, and said with a smile, Haha, in that case, thank you very much, young Master Shi. The young man in a green shirt, surnamed Shi, was Shi Zhuan, and hailed from Mount Tai, the Fengshan site. Master Duan, you're welcome, Shi Zhuan smiled, then asked, how is the matter going, young Master Shi? Don't worry. I've already made the arrangements. Within a few days, Su Shanju will die of the poison. Duan Sihe chuckled softly. After he dies, I'll personally search his residence and I'm sure I'll find the treasure. Yes, good. That puts my mind at ease, Shi Zhuan nodded with satisfaction. Young Master Shi, Duan Sihe, slightly puzzled, asked curiously, what on earth did Su Shanju obtain that aroused the interest of the Fengshan land, Sect Master Duan? Upon hearing this, Shi Zhuan's face instantly turned cold, and he said sternly, it's best not to ask too many questions about this matter. Knowing too much will not benefit you. Also, after Su Shanju dies, notify me immediately. Leave the search for the treasure to me. Sect Master Duan won't have to worry about it. Yes. Duan Sihei heard this, not daring to question it in the slightest, and hurriedly clasped his fists in agreement. Although the young man before him was not as powerful as himself, he was from the Fengshan land and held a high position. He could not afford to offend him. Yes, Shi Zhuan nodded and warned, remember, don't let any word of this get out, or I'll hold you accountable. Understood. There's one more thing I was thinking of asking you. At this moment, Shi Zhuan's gaze fell on Duan Sihei, and he frowned and said, did your shadowless sex elder, Jeping, die in Jiangbei? Yes, Duan Sihei didn't hide anything and told the truth. A few days ago, Jeping suddenly went to Jiangbei and intended to kill the head of the Jiangbei Su family. He was killed by a young Zhuang named Su Xuantian. Jeping had never been to Jiangbei and naturally had no grudge against the Jiangbei Su family. I don't know who ordered him to kill the Su family head this time, and he lost his life in vain. Duan Sihei sighed and shook his head. However, the young man in green clothes beside him, Shi Zhuan, smiled and said lightly, haha, I asked him to go. Chapter 219 The Dark Hand That Wants to Destroy the Su Family. I let him go. Upon hearing this, Duan Sihei's face suddenly showed a trace of suspicion. He asked in confusion, young Master Shi, Jiangbei is just a small place, and the Su family is even more insignificant. Do you have a grudge against the Su family? Yes, Shi Zhuan did not deny it, and said in a calm tone, indeed, there is a grudge, and it is a deep hatred. Some time ago, I went to Jiangbei, intending to destroy the Jiangbei Su family. Shi Zhuan smiled and said, however, I failed, and I was seriously injured. Young Master Shi, although you are not young, you have already set foot in the Earth sect. Duan Sihei asked in confusion, is there anyone in the Jiangbei Su family who can rival you? Yes, Shi Zhuan smiled and said, the old patriarch of the Su family, Su Qianqian, is quite powerful, about the same level as me, and he attacked me and seriously injured me. However, he is not much better. He is also injured, and he is quite old. Perhaps he will never recover to his peak in this lifetime, Shi Zhuan continued, but with the help of the healing elixir from the Fengshan land, I have now recovered, but I've been investigating the treasures in the Jiangnan Mountains these days and can't get away, so I asked Jeping to go to Jiangbei on my behalf and kill the Su family's Su Shenping first. At this point, Shi Zhuan revealed a hint of dissatisfaction. Who knew that Jeping, a loser, didn't complete the mission and died in Jiangbei instead? Young Master Shi, Duan Sihei smiled bitterly, this matter can't be blamed on Jeping. It's that Su Xuantian. He is too powerful and has endless tricks. Su Xuantian. Shi Zhuan heard this, his eyes fell on Duan Sihei, and he said lightly, I came to you to ask about the origins of this Su Xuantian. I don't know the details. I asked someone to investigate, and he seems to jump out of the cracks in the stone. Every time he appears, he disappears without a trace. Duan Sihei responded, however, it is said that he has some connection with the Jiangbei Su family. He is the sworn brother of the Su family's old man Su Qianqian. The two are friends regardless of age. Perhaps it was because of this relationship that he rescued the Su family's Su Shenping at the Juman black market a few days ago, Duan Sihei speculated. Shi Zhuan's expression darkened, and he said coldly, this Su Xuantian dares to ruin my plans. I will tear him into pieces. Haha, Master Shi, you don't have to worry about this matter. Duan Sihei laughed, that Su Xuantian is dead. Dead? Shi Zhuan frowned. How dead? Is the news reliable? Yes, his head is still in my Wu'ang sect. As for the cause of death, Duan Sihei chuckled softly, haha, it's a bit sad. This Su Xuantian died at the hands of a piece of trash at the Huijin realm. Our Wu'ang sect has an affiliated family in Jiangbei. The head of that family set up a Hongmen banquet and poisoned Su Xuantian. Today, Su Xuantian's head was delivered to the Wu'ang sect. Duan Sihei added, I saw it with my own eyes. The head is indeed Su Xuantian's. It can't be fake. To think such a thing would happen. Shi Zhuan was extremely surprised, then sneered, haha, poor Su Xuantian. He was incredibly talented, in his early 20s, yet he could kill a half-step Earth sect master. He was a prodigy, yet I didn't expect him to end up like this. Perhaps it's the result of being too strong and then breaking easily, Sect Master Duan. If that's the case, then I have no problem. Shi Xuan had originally wanted to inquire about Xuantian, looking for an opportunity to kill him to prevent him from interfering with his plan to destroy the Su family. But now that he knew Xuantian was dead, he naturally had no more questions. Young Master Shi, at this time, Duan Sahe stepped forward and said, "Excuse me, how did you and the Su family, one in heaven and the other in hell, become enemies?" "I'm not in a position to tell you," Shi Xuan said calmly. "I understand." Duan Sahe didn't ask further questions, but instead asked curiously, "Mr. Shi, with your status and background, you could easily send any expert from the Fengshan land to cause the Su family to shed blood. Why bother? This matter is rather complicated and needs to be kept secret. I don't want anyone to know that it was me who destroyed the Su family." Shi Xuan stared at Duan Sahe and said calmly, "I'm telling you this because I want your help in wiping out the Su family for me. I'll reward you handsomely after the task is completed." "Mr. Shi, you're too polite. What's the point of a generous reward? Your grandfather is my master. It's my duty to serve you." Duan Sahe agreed and then said, "The fourth elder of the Wu'ing sect, Liu Yongsu, is a murderer and has just gone to Jiangbei. I'll contact him and have him massacre the Su family." "Okay," Shi Xuan nodded with satisfaction. Without hesitation, Duan Sahe took out his phone and dialed the fourth elder's number, but no one answered. Haha, the fourth elder has rather old-fashioned ideas and doesn't like electronic devices. He might have forgotten his phone. Duan Sahe chuckled and said, "How about this, Master Shi? I'll contact third elder Lingzet. He's a mid-stage earth sect cultivator, powerful enough to sweep the Su family." Shi Xuan nodded. "Okay." Duan Sahe immediately dug out the third elder's phone number and dialed it. The call went through, but after a long ring, no one answered. These two guys, Duan Sahe was a little annoyed. After a few seconds of pausing, he smiled apologetically. "Haha, Master Shi, the third elder is old, his hearing isn't very good, and he's not very good with the phone. How about this? Second elder Qin Xianglian didn't go out. I saw her in the Shadowless sect yesterday. I'll send someone to find the second elder and order her to go to Jiangbei to complete this task," Duan Sahe said with a smile. Shi Xuan was a little impatient, but still nodded and said, "Okay, there will definitely be no accidents this time." Duan Sahe called his confidant directly. After the call was connected, he said, "Ask the second elder to come to the top of the mountain to see me. I have something to arrange for her." Reporting to the sect master, after a pause on the other end of the phone, a voice came, "The second elder went down the mountain today. As for where she went, the disciples who served her don't know. Damn it, at the critical moment, no one can be contacted. Are they all dead?" Duan Sahe hung up the phone angrily and turned to look at Shi Xuan, a little embarrassed. "Mr. Shi, don't worry. These elders will definitely return to the Shadowless sect in the near future. Whoever comes back first, I will send to destroy the Su family." "Okay." Shi Xuan was very dissatisfied, but still nodded and said, "Sect Master Duan, remember to keep the secret and don't expose me." "Understood," Duan Sahe responded. "I will issue an order to destroy the Su family on the grounds that the Su family colluded with Xuantian. That's the best. Also, regarding the matter of Great Elder Su Shanju, I await your good news." Leaving this message, Shi Xuan leaped off the mountain top. His figure flashed a few times before disappearing. Watching Shi Xuan leave, Duan Sahe couldn't help but sigh, as expected of a prodigy meticulously nurtured in the Fengshan land. In his 20s, he's already reached the late Earth sect stage. Such talent is truly astonishing. The Su family, Duan Sahe shook his head and sneered, "Haha, just an insignificant dent, yet they actually provoked Master Shi. They deserve to die." Chapter 220 Don't drink too much, exercise will have an impact. At the same time, Su Yang returned to the villa by the river. From a distance, he noticed Li Fixun in the living room, so he strode into the living room. At this moment, Li Fixun was lying on the sofa, watching TV, covered with a white blanket, and her exquisite figure was clearly visible. Su Yang walked over, sat at Li Fixun's feet, and smiled softly. "Wife, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for so long, Su." Su Yang, Li Fixun seemed to have been electrocuted. She sat up hurriedly, put her legs together, clamped them tightly, and covered her legs with a blanket. She asked with a red face, "Su Yang, where have you been? Why weren't you in the villa just now?" I went to the room on the third floor and couldn't find you. There were some urgent matters that I needed to deal with, but they have been resolved now." Suyang smiled. "Wife, you haven't eaten yet. Let's go have a candlelight dinner." "Well, okay." Li Fixun did not refuse and nodded shyly. Tonight, she had come to the villa, having already made up her mind to dedicate herself to Suyang. So, the sight of him evoked the thought of what was to come, and her beautiful face remained flushed. "Honey, let me put on your shoes for you," Suyang said suddenly, smiling. Regardless of Li Fixun's objection, he grasped her ankles. Li Fixun wore no socks. Her feet were delicate, small, smooth, and fair. Up close, one could even see the tiny, blue veins on them, a truly beautiful sight. Today, Li Fixun wore a pair of crystal high heels, elegant yet regal. "Honey, your feet are so beautiful. They're truly breathtaking," Suyang smiled, unable to resist a kiss, and then put the high heels on Li Fixun. Li Fixun's face flushed even more, too shy to meet Suyang's eyes. "Honey, why don't you just take off your shoes? I'll carry you to the restaurant." At this moment, Suyang took off the shoes he had just put on and picked up Li Fixun in a princess hug. "Okay," Li Fixun bit a red lip, but didn't refuse Suyang, shyly agreeing. And so, Suyang carried Li Fixun to the villa restaurant. Guo Yu was thoughtful and well prepared, decorating the restaurant beautifully and romantically. There was also a decanter on the table filled with red wine, at least 3 bottles. "That's great, Guo Yi," Suyang smiled, first placing Li Fixun on a chair, then sitting across from her. Then, he picked up the decanter and poured himself and Li Fixun a full glass of red wine. "Honey, it's been a long time since we've sat down and enjoyed a quiet dinner. Let's have a drink," Suyang said with a smile. Li Fixun gave Suyang a blank look and said, "Suyang, are you trying to get me drunk?" That's obvious. If a woman isn't drunk, a man has no chance," Suyang said with a playful laugh. "Bah, shameless," Li Fixun said with a curled lip. "I'm mentally prepared. You'll have a chance whether you're drunk or not, haha," Suyang, delighted, said with a smile. "That being said, a little wine will make it even more enjoyable. Come on, honey, let's go." "Okay," Li Fixun said without refusing. The two of them continued to enjoy their food and drinks, the atmosphere relaxed and pleasant. About half an hour later, Li Fixun put down her cutlery, shook her head, and said, "Suyang, I'm done, haha." "Another glass of wine," Suyang said with a soft smile, as if to pour Li Fixun a drink. "No, you can't drink too much liquid, or it'll reverberate when you exercise." Li Fixun waved her hand. "Exercise, echo." Suyang paused, then realized what was happening. He couldn't help but laugh. "Haha, honey, who told you that?" "Jeje." Li Fixun blushed and whispered, "She knew I was coming to accompany you today, so she told me some things to be careful of." "Haha," Suyang asked curiously, "Honey, what did she tell you?" "What did she tell you to be careful of?" "Jeje told me." Li Fixun was about to say something when Suyang came over, picked her up, and strode towards the living room, over to the sofa. Then, Suyang threw Li Fixun onto the soft sofa, and Li Fixun bounced up, her hair fluttering, her messy hair covering her beautiful face. At this moment, Suyang leaned over and lay beside her. He smoothed Li Fixun's hair and smiled gently. "Now you can tell me what Zhang Yuge taught you." Li Fixun gritted her teeth and whispered, "She told me not to be nervous or rush the first time, and to take my time. Otherwise, I might not be able to do it successfully." "Anything else?" Suyang asked with a smile. "Yes." Li Fixun's face flushed, and she seemed a little embarrassed to speak, but she gritted her teeth and said, "You have to be gentle, otherwise I won't be able to walk the next day." "And then what?" Suyang continued. "Pay attention to hygiene," Li Fixun continued. "That's the most important thing." "Suyang, don't touch me yet. Let's go take a shower, and then," haha. Suyang gave Li Fixun a playful smile, then grabbed Li Fixun's wrist and said, "Honey, I'm very clean. I don't need to take a shower. And I don't mind you being dirty." As he spoke, Suyang leaned over and kissed Li Fixun. "No, Suyang, go shower." Li Fixun struggled a few times, and a small square of packaging fell out of her clothes. "Dule." Suyang took a closer look and chuckled, "Wife, I didn't expect you to be prepared. Haha. But I don't like using this stuff. We'll be husband and wife soon, so there's no need for it." Then, Suyang hugged Li Fixun tightly. Li Fixun stopped struggling, her heart pounding, ready to surrender herself to Su Yang. With tacit consent, Su Yang became even more excited and prepared to show his prowess. But just then, Fu Ma and Su Yaoyao walked into the living room and happened to see them. "Dad, Teacher Li, what are you doing?" Su Yaoyao asked in a curious voice. Su Yang froze in shock and quickly stopped what he was doing, his expression slightly embarrassed. Li Fixun also realized what was happening. She hurriedly sat up and adjusted her clothes, a blush spreading across her face. "Teacher Li, why is your face so red?" Su Yaoyao blinked and asked in confusion. Li Fixun was at a loss. She couldn't explain it after a long time, so she tugged at Su Yang's clothes. Ahem. Su Yang cleared his throat and explained, "Well, Teacher Li is sick. She has a fever of 38 degrees, so her face is so red." "Oh, so that's how it is." Su Yaoyao nodded, and then said with concern, "Dad, then you should take Teacher Li to the hospital as soon as possible. Don't let her brain get burned. Teacher Li is fine. She has already taken antipyretics." Li Fixun gathered her hair and smiled awkwardly. "Young master." At this time, Fu Ma's sharp eyes found the small cube that fell beside the sofa, picked it up and asked in confusion, "Dule, see, what is this? It looks delicious. Can I eat it?" Chapter 221 Li Fixun, don't let Jiang Zuir down. Eat? Upon hearing this, Li Fixun's beautiful face flushed red. She shyly hid behind Su Yang, wishing she could find a crack in the ground to crawl into. At the same time, she tugged at Su Yang's clothes, signaling him to hurry up and deal with it. Ahem, Su Yang reacted and snatched the small cube from Fu Ma's hand. Then, he smiled, "Fu Ma, don't hold this thing anymore. Give it to me." "What's wrong, young master?" Fu Ma asked curiously. "Can it be eaten?" "Well, how should I put it?" Su Yang smiled and said, "Yes, and no. Some people like it, some don't. It's a complicated question. Is the definition so vague, young master? What exactly is in this little cube?" Fu Ma became even more curious. Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose, momentarily unsure of how to respond. I know. Just then, Su Yaoyao, standing beside him, raised her hand and smiled innocently. Upon hearing this, Li Fixun tensed up and pinched Su Yang's flesh, seemingly blaming him. Su Yang, suppressing the pain, looked at Su Yaoyao and cautiously asked, "Yaoyao, you're mistaken. The little square isn't what you think it is, Dad, stop pretending. I use this all the time. It's just for..." As Su Yaoyao spoke, Su Yang's face darkened, his eyes filled with murderous intent. "It's just a disposable glove, isn't it? I always wear it when I eat pizza." Su Yaoyao pouted and smiled. "Dad, you can't fool me. The packaging for disposable gloves is just this little square. Oh, tell me the truth. Were you and Teacher Li cheating on me?" The murderous intent in Su Yang's eyes vanished to the latter part of his words, realizing he'd been overthinking it. "Yaoyao, yes, you're right. Su Yang and I are cheating on you." Li Fixun, finding her excuse, quickly smiled. "Cheating?" Fu Ma, standing nearby, glared disdainfully at Su Yang and Li Fixun, then said earnestly, "Young master, Miss Li, if you cheat, just be mindful of the consequences. Don't be so righteous. Next time, find someplace else where there's no one." Li Fixun realized the inappropriateness of the word cheating, and felt a surge of shame. "Fu Ma, if you don't say anything, no one will think you're dumb." Su Yang scowled, "If you keep talking, I'll send you back to the Li family manor. Don't stay here with me, young master." "What are you talking about? My ears are working, sometimes not. I'm going to the hospital to see a specialist tomorrow." Fu Ma pretended not to hear Su Yang's words, muttering softly as she went into her room. This Fu Ma, Su Yang gave a wry smile, speechless, but he couldn't send Fu Ma away. After all, she had taken care of him for so many years and was a family elder. "Dad, Teacher Li, you're so mean. You didn't even invite me to get pizza." Su Yaoyao folded her arms and angrily said, "Oh, I don't want to bother with you anymore, Yaoyao." Li Fixun came over, her shame lessened. She smiled softly. "Teacher Li promised you I'll take you out for pizza tomorrow." "Don't be angry, really," Su Yaoyao exclaimed in surprise. "A liar is a puppy." "Yeah," Li Fixun smiled and rubbed Li Fixun's head. Then she said, "But, Yaoyao, it's getting late today. You should go to bed. Teacher Li will take you to the bathroom." "Okay, yeah." With that, Li Fixun ignored Su Yang and took Su Yaoyao's hand and walked into the bathroom. Soon, Su Yaoyao finished washing up, and Li Fixun carried her to the third-floor room. Su Yang followed. Seeing Su Yaoyao lying on the bed, he couldn't help but smile. Yaoyao, let Daddy tell you a story. No, Daddy, get out. Su Yaoyao's face showed a hint of panic, and she tried to resist. What's wrong? Su Yang asked in surprise. Dad, your stories are so hard to hear. They're full of violence and violence. I don't like them, Su Yaoyao confessed. Haha, this time, Daddy's going to tell you a love story from the Xuantian fairyland. I guarantee it'll be good. No, I want to hear Teacher Li tell me a story. Su Yaoyao began to pick on her. Su Yang rubbed the bridge of his nose and said with a wry smile, You girl, you actually despise me. Su Yang, since Yaoyao wants to hear my story, you go out first. I'll put her to sleep. Li Fixun smiled gently, looking at Su Yaoyao with a doting look. Okay, both girls were trying to chase him away, so Su Yang had no choice but to leave and go to the living room. About 10 minutes later, Li Fixun tiptoed down from upstairs. Honey, is Yaoyao asleep? Su Yang stood up and walked towards Li Fixun. Well, Yaoyao is so cute. She looks so beautiful when she sleeps. It would be nice if I could keep her by my side. Li Fixun was a little depressed and said sadly, What a pity. 2 or 3 days have passed. Calculating the time, her mother will pick her up in a few days. Wife, seeing Li Fixun's expression, Su Yang held her hands and said seriously, Actually, there is one thing I didn't tell you, but I didn't hide it from you on purpose. I only found out about Yaoyao in the past 2 days. What is it? Li Fixun asked curiously. Su Yang looked at Li Fixun and confessed, Yaoyao, she is my daughter, my biological daughter. Really? When Li Fixun heard the news, instead of being angry, she was particularly happy. Su Yang, does that mean that Yaoyao can stay with us forever? That should be the case. Su Yang nodded and said, I am her father. As long as she wants to stay, no one can take her away. Great. Li Fixun smiled happily and said, In this way, I can always be with Yaoyao. I will teach her classical dance and train her from an early age. Wife, seeing this, Su Yang couldn't help asking, You are my fiancé, and we haven't gotten married yet. As a result, I suddenly have an illegitimate daughter. Shouldn't you be sad? Why should I be sad? Li Fixun gave Su Yang a blank look, then smiled and said, I said before, I don't care if you have many women. Only outstanding men can attract bees and butterflies. No matter who you have a child with, the child must call me mother. I picked up a daughter for free, and I can't express how happy I am. Besides, Yaoyao is so cute and beautiful. Seeing her every day makes me feel happy. Having her by my side is a gift from heaven. Why should I be sad? Li Fixun said with a smile. Wife, you are such a good woman. Being able to marry you is the blessing I have cultivated for 8 lifetimes. Su Yang hugged Li Fixun tightly. This was absolutely true. After Li Fixun learned of Su Yaoyao's identity, her first reaction was joy. This was so rare. Bah, stop using sweet words to fool me. Li Fixun struggled to push Su Yang away, and then said, Tell me the truth. Who is Yaoyao's mother? Do I know her? Yes, you know her, and you are very familiar with her. Su Yang smiled bitterly. It's Zhang Zuir? Zhang Zuir? Li Fixun fell into memories when she heard the name. After a few seconds of pausing, she said, Sister Jingguo is right. Su Yang asked in confusion, What did my sister say? Have you forgotten how your sister explained to protect you after what happened that year? Li Fixun rolled her eyes at Su Yang and curled her lips. You may forget, but I won't. She said that giving birth to a child was too hard, and you felt sorry for me and didn't want me to suffer that pain, so she told my best friend. As a result, her words came true. Zhang Zuir really gave you a well-behaved and smart daughter. Although Li Fixun accepted Su Yaoyao and didn't care that Su Yang had multiple daughters around him, she was still a little jealous when she talked about this. Wife, my sister was just joking. No one expected things to turn out like this. Su Yang stepped forward to comfort her. No matter what, I care about you the most in my heart. Yeah. Li Fixun met Su Yang's gaze, nodded, and then said seriously, Su Yang, Sister Jingguo is right about one thing. Giving birth is very hard. The pain of childbirth cannot be understood by those who have not experienced it. Zhang Zuir didn't abort the child and gave birth to such a good daughter like Yaoyao for you. She has paid too much? You must not let her down. Do you hear me? Li Fixun continued, if you want to let her down, it means you are a heartless man. Such a man is not worthy of being my husband. I will never talk to you again, wife. Su Yang never expected that Li Fixun would say this, and was quite moved. I will shoulder the responsibilities of a man. Whether it is Jiang Zui or you, I will not let them down. That's about right. Li Fixun nodded in satisfaction, then crossed her arms and said, I can't control anything else, but I want to be the main wife. From now on, we won't need a nanny. Laundry, cooking, mopping, dishes, all these tasks will be left to your wife. As for me, I can enjoy the good life. Haha, honey, didn't I tell you before? If you want to maintain your position as the mistress of the harem, you need to give birth to a prince first. Su Yang walked over, hugged Li Fixun, and gently kissed her cheek. No, forget it today. Let's wait until next time. Fu Ma knew you are at the villa. Li Fixun pushed Su Yang away, her face slightly flushed. She gritted her teeth and said, it's getting late. Su Yang, take me home. Okay then. Su Yang didn't force it. After all, there would be plenty of opportunities in the future. Then, he and Li Fixun walked out of the living room and drove straight to the Li family manor. Feijuan, in the corner, Fu Ma watched Su Yang and Li Feijuan depart through the window, her expression etched with complexity. She silently repeated Li Feijuan's name, tears glistening in her eyes. Su Yang drove Li Feijuan to the Li family manor. On the way, Su Yang had intended to savor the sentiment of stopping the car and sitting to enjoy the maple forest at dusk, but Li Feijuan disagreed. After bidding farewell to his wife, Su Yang drove directly back to his riverside villa. Tonight, he had reaped a bounty, not only a 5,000-year-old snow lotus, but also a surprising 100 energy stones, which he must put to good use. So, Su Yang went to his room and took out the snow lotus, intending to first remove the toxins from it. This toxin has already merged with the snow lotus. It'll take some work, but it will definitely be done tonight. Tomorrow I'll buy some supplementary herbs. And I can refine the snow lotus pill. A playful smile played on Su Yang's lips. After taking the snow lotus pill, I'll definitely reach the 7th level of key training. With this thought in mind, Su Yang calmed down and tossed the snow lotus into the air, simultaneously shifting his hand seals. The next day, Su Yang cleaned the toxins from the snow lotus early and got up to prepare breakfast for Su Yaoyao. Fu Ma had stocked the kitchen refrigerator with a lot of ingredients. Su Yang started by making porridge, then selected 2 cucumbers, blended them into juice, kneaded the dough to make cucumber pancakes, stir-fried some shredded potatoes, and finally fried a few eggs. His simple breakfast was complete. Then, Su Yang woke Su Yaoyao, helped her get dressed and washed, and then went to the dining table. Wow, Dad, did you make all this? Su Yaoyao asked in surprise, her eyes twinkling. Yes, Su Yang nodded gently, rubbing Su Yaoyao's head affectionately. He smiled, eat more. A full stomach gives you the energy to study. Oh, school again. Su Yaoyao's face immediately drooped when she heard she had to go to school. She whispered, Daddy, can I not go? No, Su Yang refused. Originally, he didn't know Su Yaoyao was his daughter and thought she would only be with him for a few days, so it didn't matter whether she went to school or not. But now it was different. Su Yang had no intention of letting Yaoyao leave him. She must go to school regularly, without any absences. Young master, at this moment, Fu Ma came over, hunched over. Seeing the food on the table, she exclaimed in surprise, It smells so good. So you can cook? Just make some, Su Yang replied. It's really good. Can I have some? Fu Ma's eyes flickered with hope. Of course, Su Yang said with a smile. I made quite a bit, enough to eat. Great, thank you, young master. Fu Ma's gaze fell on Su Yang, a complex expression in her eyes. Then she smiled and said, I've known you for so many years, but this is the first time I've eaten a meal you've cooked. I'm so touched. Fu Ma, why are you being so corny? Su Yang met Fu Ma's gaze, goosebumps covering his skin. He urged, hurry up and eat. Afterwards, take Yaoyao to the gate to wait for the school bus. Wait for the school bus? Why wait for the school bus? It's Saturday, no school, Fu Ma said. Oh, right, it's Saturday. Yay, no school. So happy, la la la. Su Yaoyao instantly realized what was happening, jumping up and down with joy, her pigtails swinging back and forth, looking adorable. Su Yang smiled, not knowing what else to say. Yesterday, Su Yaoyao had a blast at the Li family manor, so after dinner, she insisted on going out to play. However, Su Yang still needed to buy the auxiliary herbs for refining the snow lotus pill, so he asked Fu Ma to take Yu. Goodbye, Dad. After seeing Fu Ma and Yu off, Su Yang drove away from the riverside villa without stopping for a moment. Meanwhile, at the Dong family manor, Dong Wensheng called the great elder Su Shanzhu. P.S. The two chapters are combined and will not be separated. There will be another chapter later. Chapter 222 The Excited Elder. Great Elder, I've returned safely to Jiangbei. Thank you for your secret assistance. After the call was connected, Dong Wensheng first expressed his gratitude, then said, after returning to Jiangbei, I went to the Nine Gates Black Market and have some good news to share with you. What good news? Su Shanzhu's curious voice came from the other end of the line. I asked the Nine Gates Black Market, and their representative said they're willing to buy a large quantity of energy stones. Following Su Yang's lead, Dong Wensheng continued, Great Elder, didn't you discover a mine of energy stones? You could definitely mine it and sell it to the Nine Gates Black Market. Oh, is that so? Su Shanzhu's words immediately piqued his interest. Although he was an ancient martial artist, he still had many uses for money. Whether it was medicinal herbs, weapons, secret manuals, or ancient talismans, money could be used to buy them. For example, a 5,000-year-old snow lotus was available on the Nine Gates Black Market, but it was quite expensive, starting at tens of billions. For an ancient martial artist, money wasn't everything, but without it, nothing mattered. Su Shanzhu had discovered a mine of energy stones, but he didn't think he'd find a market for them, so he didn't take it seriously. But now, knowing the Nine Gates Black Market was looking to acquire them, Su Shanzhu's interest was piqued. If he could sell all those energy stones to the Nine Gates Black Market, wouldn't he be rich? Thinking of this, Su Shanzhu hurriedly asked, Master Dong, do you understand clearly? I have quite a few energy stones to offer. How many are the Nine Gates Black Market planning to purchase? Reporting to the Great Elder, I've made all the inquiries for you. The Nine Gates Black Market has said they'll take whatever you have, Dong Wensheng quickly replied. Haha, great. Su Shanzhu was overjoyed and said excitedly, the energy stone mine I discovered isn't very large. I took a quick look and I think we can probably dig out 1,000 energy stones. By the way, Patriarch Dong, did they say how much they'd pay for each stone? Yes, Dong Wensheng said respectfully, the person in charge told me it won't be too low, probably between 3 and 5 million, depending on the quality of the energy stone. However, Great Elder, I've already shown the energy stone you gave me to the person in charge of the Nine Gates Black Market. They said it's of good quality and they'd give me 5 million each, Dong Wensheng added. 5 million, 1,000 stones, that's 5 billion, Su Shanzhu's eyes lit up, his breathing quickening, clearly attracted by the money. But then he calmed down and asked in confusion, Master Dong, why did you suddenly think of going to the Nine Gates Black Market to inquire whether they were buying energy stones? This, Dong Wensheng's heart tightened, and then he smiled, haha, Great Elder, to be honest, you gave me 100 energy stones, which is really too many. I can't use them all, so I thought of selling them, but in Jiangbei, the only place that can buy so many energy stones at one time is the Nine Gates Black Market, so I went to the Nine Gates Black Market to ask, to increase credibility. Dong Wensheng continued, I didn't expect that they were preparing to buy energy stones. I have already sold 80 and kept 20 to pass on to future generations of the Dong family. However, you also know that the Jiangbei Nine Gates Black Market is just a small branch of the Nine Gates Alliance. 80 energy stones can't satisfy their appetite at all, so I mentioned you to them. I see. Su Shanzhu nodded in sudden realization, then smiled. Master Dong, you think of me in everything. You are thoughtful, Great Elder, you're so polite. You're so generous, giving me 100 energy stones. It's my duty, Dong Wensheng smiled. By the way, Great Elder, the people at the Nine Gates Black Market are pushing for more. You should mine the energy stones as soon as possible and then come to Jiangbei to sell them. Contact me when you're ready, and I'll introduce you to the person in charge of the Nine Gates Black Market. Okay, Su Shanzhu nodded, then said, I'll leave for Jiangnan right now and mine all the energy stones from that mine. Then I'll get a truck to transport them to Jiangbei. We'll arrive tonight at the latest, Great Elder, there's no need to rush, haha, speed is of the essence. I need to sell the energy stones as soon as possible and turn them into money. If I delay too long and the Nine Gates Black Market changes its mind and refuses to take them, who'll I sell them to then? Su Shanzhu stroked his beard and smiled. Great Elder, that's wise, Dong Wensheng flattered him. Master Dong, thanks to you this time. I'll definitely reward you handsomely once this is accomplished, Su Shanzhu said gratefully, genuinely feeling that Dong Wensheng treated him well. Then I must thank you, Great Elder. Dong Wensheng smiled and continued, Great Elder, it's settled. I'll tell the head of the Nine Gates Black Market to prepare to meet you tonight, okay, thank you. Please also prepare the 5,000-year-old Snow Lotus. I'll take it with me tonight, yes. Then, the call ended. Dong Wensheng didn't hesitate and immediately sent a text message to Su Yang, informing him that the Great Elder would be visiting Jiangbei that night with the Energy Stone. As for Su Shanzhu, after speaking with Dong Wensheng, he left the Wuang sect without a second, hoe in hand. Ziyan Mountain was not far from Jiangnan. A few dozen minutes later, Su Shanzhu appeared in a truck outside a mountain in Jiangnan. Then, carrying his hoe, he flashed and quickly arrived near the Energy Stone mine. 5 million for one Energy Stone. Haha, I'm rich. Su Shanzhu is extremely excited, swinging his hoe non-stop, sweat pouring down his face as he diligently mined energy stones. This energy stone mine was more than it seemed. Su Shanzhu had found a precious treasure here. Therefore, he didn't want to let the others in the Wuang sect know, lest they attract the sect master's covetousness, so he mined the energy stones himself. Although Su Shanzhu was a peak-level ancient warrior of the Earth sect, mining energy stones was delicate work. He couldn't be too rough, otherwise it would damage the stones. He had to dig little by little. So, after mining over 100, he was exhausted and breathless. But the thought of a single energy stone worth 5 million per stone intensified Su Shanzhu's enthusiasm, his face beaming with excitement, and he felt extremely grateful to Dong Wensheng. Master Dong is such a good man. He found a market for my energy stones. When I get to Jiangbei, I'll definitely thank him profusely. And, from now on, I'll have to pay him special attention, Su Shanzhu muttered to himself, wiping the sweat from his forehead like an old man working in the fields. Meanwhile, in the Jingmen Black Market, in a second-floor room, Su Yang sat cross-legged. He had already asked Liu Wei to gather the herbs for refining the Snow Lotus pill, and now they were right before his eyes. Great Elder, you're so eager to deliver them right here. Haha, okay, one day is enough for me to advance to the 7th level of key training. Su Yang saw the text message from Dong Wensheng and then mobilized his spiritual energy to begin refining the Snow Lotus pill. Chapter 223 Heading to Jiangbei. Inside the room, a 5,000-year-old Snow Lotus, along with various supplementary herbs, hovered in mid-air under Su Yang's control, a surge of spiritual energy permeating the room. However, to avoid attracting attention, Su Yang had previously set up a barrier around the room, preventing outsiders from observing anything. While the Snow Lotus pill wasn't a high-grade elixir, Su Yang could easily refine it with his instincts. However, without an alchemy furnace, the refinement required extreme caution and attention, slowing the process considerably, taking at least 3 or 4 hours. Fortunately, the Great Elder wouldn't arrive until that evening, leaving him plenty of time. Su Yang then immersed himself in refining the Snow Lotus pill. In her storage ring, Shufan was also cultivating. She had successively consumed the essence and blood of the 4th Elder, the 3rd Elder, and the 2nd Elder. The spiritual energy generated by these essences and blood could easily help her leap forward and achieve a transformation. As for the extent of her breakthrough, it was unknown, but it would at least reach the 7th level of key training. After all, the 3 elders of the Shadowless sect were all formidable, all at the Earth realm. The 2nd Elder, in particular, was even more formidable, having already reached the late Earth realm. Su Yang had to exert all his might, unleashing the power of close-footed worlds and utilizing the uncanny power of teleportation to defeat him unscathed. Without close-footed worlds, Su Yang would have likely paid a heavy price, at least severely injured, to defeat 2nd Elder Qin Xianglian. The combined essence and blood of the 3 elders was so potent that after consuming it, Shufan entered a deep state of cultivation. Meanwhile, at the summit of the Shadowless Sect's mountain, Duan Sihei, dressed in a long robe, stood with his hands behind his back, facing the 1,000-foot cliff. Behind him stood a young man in his 20s, with starry eyes, sharp brows, and a resolute countenance. This man was none other than Nalan Wudao, the eldest son of the Jiangbei Nalan family. He was actually the grandson of Duan Sihei, the Shadowless Sect's leader. Many years ago, Nalan Wudao had come to the Shadowless sect to cultivate, and due to his considerable talent, he was greatly favored by Duan Sihei. Wudao, I heard you've reached Grandmaster status, Duan Sihei asked. Yes, Grandpa, Nalan Wudao replied respectfully. I reached Grandmaster status yesterday. I'm sure you'll take first place in the sex competition. Well, okay. Your status is rather awkward within the Wu'ang sect. I know my descendants have been targeting you. Duan Sihei turned around, patted Nalan Wudao on the shoulder, and said with a pleased smile, but if you can win the sex competition, you'll completely silence them. Also, the sex competition is only to select young masters to compete in the 100 sex martial arts competition, where all the ancient martial arts sects in the world will send their masters. Duan Sihei smiled. Wudao, if you can achieve success in the 100 sex martial arts competition, you'll truly be proud of yourself. Not only will you become famous, but you'll also bring honor to a Wu'ang sect. Grandpa, I'll do my best not to let you down, Nalan Wudao said seriously. Yes, Duan Sihei nodded with satisfaction, then sighed and said, Hey, Wudao. I believe you have heard about the death of your master Jeping. Now the sect competition is imminent, and the 100 sex martial arts competition is also imminent. You must cheer up as soon as possible and don't be too sad. Grandpa, I understand. Nalan Wudao showed a trace of pain on his face, and then said solemnly, Grandson will definitely focus on the two competitions and prepare carefully so as not to let Grandpa down. Okay, you are worthy of being my good grandson. Duan Sihei smiled appreciatively, and then said, the murderer who killed your master has been killed. You don't have to worry about it. Go into seclusion to practice. Yes, Grandpa, goodbye. Nalan Wudao clasped his fists respectfully, then strode away from the top of the mountain. Watching Nalan Wudao leave, Duan Sihei smiled with satisfaction. Haha, the Wu'ang sect finally has a successor. After this competition, Wudao's name will be written into my Duan family's genealogy. Duan Sihei then laughed. By then, it's time to change his last name. Duan Wudao? Haha, not bad, a good name. Whoosh. Just as Duan Sihei was laughing up at the sky, a figure suddenly appeared. Sect Master Duan, what are you so happy about, young Master Shi? Duan Sihei took a closer look and smiled. Young Master Shi, I'm sorry for not welcoming you. The person who came was none other than Shi Zhuan, dressed in green. Master Duan, you're too polite. Shi Zhuan smiled gently, then got straight to the point, asking, have you sent anyone to do what I told you to do? Young Master Shi, it's a coincidence that several of our sect's most capable elders are out of reach for the time being. Duan Sihei replied, the remaining elders haven't even set foot in the Earth sect yet, so they're not up to the task. Why not give it a few days? Alright. Shi Zhuan was deeply dissatisfied, but he had no choice but to agree. Report. At this moment, a disciple of the Shadowless sect hurried forward and knelt respectfully on the ground. Can't you see we have a distinguished guest? How reckless. How unbecoming. Duan Sihei initially chided, then calmly said, what happened, Master? The great elder left the mountain 2 hours ago? The disciple replied hastily. What? Duan Sihei said in a deep voice, he has been gone for 2 hours. Why did you tell me now? Sect Master, the great elder is very powerful, like a dragon that is hard to find. Okay, don't explain. Duan Sihei interrupted, and then asked, where did Su Shanja go? I don't know, I dare not follow him, the disciple said cautiously. Waste, get out. Duan Sihei scolded loudly and drove the disciple away. Then he looked at Shi Zhuan and said, Mr. Shi, don't worry, Su Shanja can't escape from my palm. If what I expected is true, he must have gone to Jiangbei to get the snow lotus. Duan Sihei smiled strategically and said, we just wait and see, and wait for Su Shanja to eat the snow lotus that contains the deadly poison. Gone to Jiangbei. Shi Zhuan paused for a few seconds after hearing this, and then a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Sect Master Duan, why don't we go to Jiangbei as well? First, keep an eye on Su Shanju, so that he won't die of poison when we are not around, and the treasure will be picked up by others. Secondly, there is no need to wait for the elders of your sect. You accompany me to destroy the Su family. I also want to see with my own eyes the tragic death of those evil creatures of the Su family. It must be very interesting, Shi Zhuan suggested coldly. Haha, Jiangbei is just a small corner of the country, and the Su family is even lesser known. How could a dignified sect leader like me take action? Duan Sihei chuckled upon hearing this. However, since young Master Shi is so inclined, I'll accompany you on this journey. Okay, then. Thank you, Sect Master Duan. Don't worry, you'll definitely benefit after this is accomplished, Shijuan said with a smile. You're too polite, young Master Shi. This is what I should do. After exchanging a few pleasantries, Duan Sihe and Shijuan jumped off the 1,000-foot cliff together, leaving the shadowless sect. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 224 Must see Su Qiang and Su Shenbing come out and die. Before he knew it, night had fallen. In Jiangbei, at the Jiumen Black Market, around 3 p.m., Su Yang had successfully refined the snow lotus pill and swallowed it. Leveraging its potent properties, Su Yang easily reached the 7th level of key training. His strength had skyrocketed, and the spiritual energy within him had more than doubled. In addition to the 5,000-year-old snow lotus, Su Yang had also obtained 100 energy stones yesterday. He concluded that if he refined these energy stones, combined with the remaining medicinal properties of the snow lotus pill, he would have a good chance of reaching the 8th level of key training. However, Su Yang had recently experienced a series of breakthroughs. Although he possessed the soul of an immortal emperor and possessed no bottlenecks in his cultivation, his body was rather weak. Breaking through too quickly would weaken his foundation, and prematurely draining his body would affect his subsequent cultivation. Therefore, Su Yang slowed his progress, absorbing only a dozen or so energy stones to stabilize his realm. Ding dong. Just then, Su Yang suddenly received a WeChat voice message from Li Fixuan. Su Yang, what are you doing? You haven't contacted me all day. After listening to the voice message, Su Yang replied with a smile, I'm at the 9 Gates Black Market. I have something to take care of tonight. Alright, I won't bother you anymore. Where's Yu? I miss Yu and plan to see her. Li Fixuan didn't inquire about Su Yang's activities, but instead asked about Su Yu. She should be at the Su family manor. She went there early this morning? Got it. I'll go look for her there first. Remember to pick us up when you're done, okay? After a brief conversation with his wife, Su Yang put away his phone and left the room. Master, coincidentally, Liu Wei and Wang Sony were about to go upstairs. Upon seeing Su Yang, Liu Wei respectfully said, there's an outsider named Dong Wensheng who claims to be your subordinate and requests to see you. I see. Let him come, Su Yang said calmly. Yes, Liu Wei quickly agreed and left with Wang Sai. When he reappeared, he brought Dong Wensheng with him. Master, Dong Wensheng greeted Su Yang respectfully. Yes, Su Yang looked at Dong Wensheng and asked, Dong Wensheng, has the Great Elder arrived? Master, I just received word from the Great Elder that he's already in Jiangbei. Dong Wensheng replied respectfully, if nothing goes wrong, he'll be at the 9 Gates Black Market in half an hour. However, the Great Elder has changed his mind. He doesn't want to trade at the 9 Gates Black Market and has changed the meeting place. Su Yang frowned. What's going on? Has he noticed something? That's not the case. Dong Wensheng smiled and said, Master, the Great Elder discovered this energy stone mine and doesn't seem to have told the sect master. The 9 Gates Black Market is a mixed bag, so it's inevitable that there will be members of ancient martial arts sects. He's afraid he'll be recognized here, which would cause a lot of trouble. Dong Wensheng continued, just to be on the safe side, the Great Elder wants to find a secluded place to trade. Haha, this old man is quite cooperative. Su Yang showed a playful smile at the corner of his mouth, and then said lightly, has he decided on a location? Yes, Dong Wensheng said truthfully, Dongshan Woods. Why Dongshan Woods again? Su Yang smiled lightly, and then said, well, you tell him that there is no problem, the people from the Jiumen Black Market will be here soon, let him go to Dongshan Woods and wait first. Yes, Dong Wensheng agreed, and called Su Shanju on the spot to convey Su Yang's meaning to Su Shanju. After hanging up the phone, Dong Wensheng smiled and said, Master, it's done. The Great Elder is already on his way to the East Mountain Woods. Yeah, Su Yang nodded slightly, then turned his gaze to Liu Wei, and said lightly, Liu Wei, don't worry. Although I used the name of the 9 Gates Black Market to trick the Great Elder of the Shadowless sect out this time, it will not cause damage to the reputation of the 9 Gates Black Market, because this Great Elder will die tonight. Master, Liu Wei couldn't help but worried when he heard this. I heard that the great elder of the Shadowless sect is very powerful and has already reached the peak of the Earth sect too. Su Yang smiled and said, don't worry. Since I set up this game, I must be sure to eat him. Yes, Liu Wei was no longer worried after hearing this, but applied, Master, Wang Song and I have nothing to do tonight, so let's go with you. No need. Su Yang shook his head to refuse, then looked at Dong Wensheng and said lightly, Dong Wensheng, come with me. Yes, Dong Wensheng was overjoyed, glancing defiantly at Liu Wei and Wang Song, feeling proud to be under Su Yang's command. And just like that, Dong Wensheng drove Su Yang away from the Nine Gates black market. Su Yang had already disguised himself as Su Xuantian when he arrived, so there was no need for another disguise now. At that moment, the lights of Zhangbei were beginning to come on, a riot of neon lights gleaming, a modern atmosphere. Suddenly, two figures dressed in retro style appeared on the bustling streets. They were Shi Zhuan and Duan Sihei. One dressed in a brown robe, the other in a blue shirt, looking like something out of a TV show, completely out of place in the modern streets. However, many young people these days favor retro styles, and it's common to see people of all ages strolling around in period costume, so passers-by have long since grown accustomed to the sight. My informant has confirmed that Su Shanzhou has obtained a truckload of energy stones from somewhere and is en route to the Nine Gates black market, apparently intending to sell them there, Duan Sihei said. Energy stone, Shi Zhuan paused, then smiled and said, I know. It was probably mined from the mountain south of the Yangtze River. The treasure he obtained contained a special energy that infected the surrounding stones, thus forming the energy stone. Shi Zhuan smiled and said, I knew about this a long time ago, but I couldn't find a market for the energy stone, and I was afraid that rash mining would alert Su Shanzhou, so I didn't take action. I didn't expect him to find a buyer. Haha, that's even better. Let him sell that truckload of energy stones to the Juman black market. Shi Zhuan smiled playfully and said, that way, when he swallows the poisonous snow lotus and dies from the poison, the treasure will be mine, and the money from the sale of the energy stones will be yours. Sect Master Duan, what do you think? Haha, Master Shi is wise. Duan Sihei smiled and asked, then, Master Shi, what should we do next? Wait for Su Shanzhou to come out outside the Juman black market and keep a secret eye on him. Don't worry. It'll take time for him to make deals with the Nine Gates black market. Let's deal with the Su family first, then deal with Su Shanzhou. He can't get away, Shi Zhuan said with a smile. Okay, Duan Sihei nodded in agreement. Su Qianqin, Su Shenbing, you guys got away with your lives last time, but you won't be so lucky this time. Shi Zhuan narrowed his eyes slightly, a fierce murderous intent surging in them. Then, he and Duan Sihei disappeared into the night, heading straight for the Su family manor. Half an hour later, in the woods of Dongshan, a Hualala truck was parked here, its cargo box covered by a black cloth, making it impossible to see what was inside. At this moment, a bearded old man stepped out from the passenger seat. It was none other than Su Shanzhou, the grand elder of the Wu-Ying sect. You asked me to bring the goods here, but why haven't you arranged for anyone to unload them? The driver leaned over and muttered, this is inexplicable. Hauling a load of rocks to the wilderness in the middle of the night? If the pay wasn't high, I wouldn't have taken it. Hurry up and call someone to unload the goods. I need to go home. I don't have time to wait for you, the Lalamove driver urged. Haha, Su Shanzhou's gaze fell on the driver, and he said flatly, I'm afraid you can't make it home. What do you mean, old man? You, up, the Lalamove driver was about to say something when Su Shanzhou suddenly attacked, a stream of qi swiftly slicing the driver's neck. Puff. His throat was severed, blood spurted out, and the driver died instantly, dead in the driver's seat. An ordinary person dares to yell at me? You're clueless, Su Shanzhou smiled, as if he had done something insignificant. Then, he prepared to call Dong Wensheng to ask when the Nine Gates black market people would arrive. But then, bright headlights flashed, and a Land Rover pulled up not far away. Immediately, Dong Wensheng stepped out. Great Elder, Dong Wensheng didn't approach Su Shanzhou, but stood in front of the car, smiling and asking, did you bring all the energy stones? Yes, a full 1,100, unaware of anything amiss. Su Shanzhou chuckled softly, Master Dong, have the Nine Gates black market people arrived? Yes, they're right here. Dong Wensheng smiled, then bowed respectfully and opened the passenger door. The next moment, Su Yang stepped out of the car and stood beside it, gazing at Su Shanzhou from a distance. I'm Su Shanzhou, The Grand Elder of the Shadowless Sect. Nice to meet you. Su Shanzhu was about to make overtures to the Nine Gates black market, but upon closer inspection, his brow furrowed. You're Su Xuantian. After Jeping's incident, Su Shanzhu had seen Su Xuantian's photo and recognized Su Yang instantly. Yes, Su Yang said with a smile as he approached Su Shanzhu. Grand Elder, you have good eyesight. You recognized me instantly even though we've never met. Su Shanzhu frowned, puzzled. Su Xuantian, weren't you dead? You're not dead, it's a fake. As he spoke, Su Shanzhu suddenly realized. Not bad, Su Yang chuckled softly. Great Elder, I didn't expect you to be so clever. Humph. Su Shanzhu snorted coldly, then glanced at Dong Wenxian, then at Su Yang. Is this a conspiracy between you and Dong Wenxian? What's your purpose? To steal the 5,000-year-old snow lotus. At this point, Su Shanzhu stared coldly at Dong Wenxian and said in a deep voice, Dong Wenxian, you're so bold. You actually colluded with outsiders to deceive the sect master. You don't want to live anymore, do you? Tell me where the snow lotus is right now, and perhaps I can spare your life. Su Shanzhu's face was as gloomy as water. If you don't, I will tear you into pieces. Su Shanzhu was, after all, a peak-level Earth sect master, and the aura around him was astonishingly powerful. Despite Dong Wenxian's rapid progress in the past 2 days, he didn't dare meet Su Shanzhu's gaze and hurriedly lowered his head. HMPH, you won't tell me, right? Fine, I'll smash your bones one by one to vent my hatred. Su Shanzhu's face darkened, his keys surging in his palms as he approached Dong Wenxian. Great Elder, at this moment, Su Yang chuckled softly, there's no point in getting anxious. I've already eaten the snow lotus. What? Su Shanzhu, upon hearing this, flew into a rage, gritting his teeth and saying, Su Xuantian, what did you say? Say it again. I ate the snow lotus, Su Yang repeated. Damn it, that's what I coveted, and you, a half-step Earth sect trash, dared to get there first? You're courting death. Su Shanzhu's patience was broken, and he swiftly slapped Su Yang with his palm. Whoosh! Seeing this, Su Yang activated the A World Away technique, instantly vanishing from the spot and dodging. Su Shanzhu calmed down, startled. He muttered, what a fast speed. Su Xuantian. You're not a half-step Earth sect master. Tell me, what realm have you reached? Haha, Great Elder, let's stop talking nonsense. Everyone's busy. Let's get started. Watch. Su Yang smiled softly, then unleashed his A World Away technique, launching a swift attack. Su Shanzhu, sensing Su Yang's agility, didn't hesitate and rushed to meet his attack with all his might. Bang! In an instant, their palms touched, and a terrifying aftermath of the battle spread out in all directions. Then, Su Yang and Su Shanzhu were both sent flying backwards, each landing 4 or 5 meters behind. Such a formidable force. You're actually on par with me, having also reached the peak of the Earth sect, so young, yet at the peak of the Earth sect? I've never heard of such a thing in the modern history of the ancient martial arts world. Su Shanzhu steadied himself, his face filled with shock. He gazed warily at Su Yang and asked, Su Xuantian, what are your origins? You're talking too much nonsense. Su Yang's eyes glared, unwilling to speak anymore. He quickly condensed 2 water dragons and immediately activated the water dragon technique. Roar! 2 water dragons composed of spiritual energy appeared in an instant, roaring and charging towards Su Shanzhu. Su Shanzhu was shocked, his face filled with horror. He quickly fought back, barely holding on. However, Su Yang didn't let Su Shanzhu go. Instead, he advanced and continued his attack. HMPH, you're going too far. Su Shanzhu gritted his teeth and mobilized all his strength to meet Su Yang. Bang! 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 And so, the two engaged in a fierce battle, with leaves falling and spiritual energy and true ki raging. Now, Su Yang, having reached the 7th level of ki training, showed no fear of the peak Earth sect cultivator. He estimated he would defeat him within 100 rounds. At this moment, Shijuan and Duan Sihei arrived at the Su family manor. Several servants approached, and one politely asked, "Who are you looking for?" Bang! Shijuan showed no mercy, sending the approaching servant flying with a palm strike. A sinister smile played on his face as he muttered, "Tonight, every single person in this manor must die. Su Qianqian, Su Shenbing, come out and die." Chapter 225, Subjugating Su Shanzhu. At the Su family manor, Su Shenbing was practicing in his study. Lately, he'd been feeling increasingly stressed. This pressure came, in part, from Su Yang. Damn it. He'd always complained about his son being useless and unworthy, and now, his strength was almost as good as his own. It was infuriating. This couldn't go on. He had to quickly get his body in shape and become stronger than his son, or he wouldn't have the nerve to criticize him anymore. Meanwhile, the family crisis was imminent, and as the patriarch, Su Xuantian naturally felt an urge to improve his skills. However, just then, he heard someone shouting outside, and his expression darkened. Oh no. That guy. He's back at the Su residence again, Xiao Ting. Su Xuantian stood up and said in a deep voice, immediately gather all the Su family's experts and follow me out to see what's going on. Yes, Xiao Ting, standing beside him, responded respectfully, then followed Su Xuantian out of the study. Meanwhile, in the Su family's underground secret room, Su Qianqian sat cross-legged, his eyes slightly closed. He, too, was practicing and heard the noise outside. What was to come has finally come, Su Qianqian sighed, a solemn expression crossing his wrinkled face. He murmured, I hope the Su family can escape this disaster. Without pausing, Su Qianqian leaped from the underground chamber. Only if he took action now would he stand a chance of defeating the young master and giving the Su family a glimmer of hope. Now, Su Qianqian could only pray that the man's injuries hadn't fully healed, and that he could repel him as he had last time. Meanwhile, in the dense forests of East Mountain, Su Yang was engaged in a fierce battle with the great elder Su Shanzhu. The commotion was immense, with falling leaves and raging energy. While Xianqi was vastly weaker than spiritual energy, Su Shanzhu had cultivated for decades, even centuries, and his achievements in the ancient martial arts were exceptionally formidable. He was at the pinnacle of the Earth sect, a first elder. With such prowess, he could easily establish his own sect and become its own leader. Su Yang, on the other hand, had only been practicing for over half a month. Despite his powerful spiritual energy, he was unable to easily crush Su Shanzhu. After all, a pack of wild wolves could pose a threat to a lion. Although his true energy was weak, Su Shanzhu's true energy was abundant and strong enough to completely counter Su Yang's spiritual energy. However, Su Yang relied on the strangeness of a world away to still suppress Su Shanzhu. Looking at the overall situation, Su Shanzhu had no power to fight back and could only passively defend and dissolve Su Yang's offensive. Bang! Suddenly, Su Yang seized a flaw in Su Shanzhu and directly used the water dragon technique to repel him. Su Shanzhu's body flew back 4 or 5 meters before landing on the ground. Fortunately, due to his high level of cultivation, he managed to stabilize his body. Puff! Then, Su Shanzhu spat out a mouthful of blood, stared at Su Yang with a gloomy face, and said in a cold voice, Su Xuantian, I didn't expect your strength to be so strong. I am not your opponent. It really surprises me, however, Su Xuantian, don't be too proud. If you push me into a corner, don't blame me for trying my best to kill you, Su Shanzhu threatened in a deep voice. Haha, Su Yang sneered, taking a step forward and saying playfully, you're about to die. Yet you're still talking nonsense. What are you going to use to kill me, humph? Su Shanzhu's face darkened, and he said coldly, since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for being rude. If I had met you a few days ago, I might have fallen into your hands, but now, I'm completely confident I can kill you. Su Shanzhu's expression relaxed a lot, and he smiled with his eyes narrowed slightly. To be honest, a few days ago, I discovered an energy stone mine in the mountains of Jiangnan and also obtained a supreme treasure. This supreme treasure possesses terrifying power. I've studied it, and it can kill all masters below the level of Xianzong, Su Shanzhu continued, but with a true energy in my body, I can only activate it once. After that attack, my true energy will be exhausted and I will enter a weak state. That's why I haven't used it, but now, Su Xuantian, you've gone too far and touched my bottom line. I have no choice but to use it to kill you. As he spoke, Su Shanzhu reached into his bosom and pulled out a bizarre object. It was completely black, neither a knife nor a sword, but rather the shape and size of a cucumber. Its material resembled both black iron and a meteorite, and Su Yang couldn't tell the difference at first glance. But he could clearly sense that this cucumber-like object brimmed with a terrifying spiritual energy. Such a powerful spiritual energy. This is definitely not an ordinary item. Su Yang's heart pounded, and he gazed intently at the object in Su Shanzhu's hand, his mind stirring. Grab it. I must get this. Su Xuantian, don't blame me. You forced me to do this. At this moment, Su Shanju's face darkened as he suddenly tossed the object into the air. Then, he shifted his palms, channeling all his inner ki into the cucumber-like object. Buzz! In an instant, the object shone with a dazzling golden light, emitting a terrifying aura. Give it to me. Kill it. Then, Su Shanju's face darkened, and he raised his hand to push Su Yang. The next moment, the creature streaked through the air like a meteor, striking Su Yang with lightning speed. Oh no, this time, it was Su Yang who was startled, and he quickly used the technique of a world away. Haha, Su Xuantian, it's useless. It's locked onto you. Kill it. Su Shanju chuckled coldly, but it was clear that his remaining ki was dwindling, and his aura was weak. However, Su Shanju remained unfazed, confident that this single strike would annihilate Su Xuantian. Su Yang continuously used the technique of a world away, dodging the creature's pursuit. This isn't going to work. I'll have to use the talisman I refined earlier. Su Yang felt a pang of distress at this thought, but there was nothing he could do. He pulled a pair of shorts from his storage ring and tossed them into the air. Don't underestimate these underpants. Su Yang expended 20 energy stones to refine this attack talisman, and its destructive power is terrifying. Haha, Su Xuantian, are you frightened, silly? You just pulled out a pair of underpants and think. Su Shanju, upon seeing the underpants talisman, was about to taunt Su Yang, but before he could finish his words, a loud bang erupted from the scene. Boom! The underpants talisman and the cucumber-like object collided. Instantly, the aftermath ripped through the surrounding trees, snapping them in half. Dong Wensheng, hiding far away, was injured, spitting out blood and turning pale. Su Shanju, depleted of his true energy, was unable to withstand the aftermath and fell to the ground, coughing up blood. However, Su Yang was not seriously injured. He channeled his spiritual energy to form a protective shield to protect himself and simultaneously channeled a stream of spiritual energy to shield Dong Wensheng as well. Although Dong Wensheng's son, Dong Zikan, had previously offended him, and there was a small grudge, Su Yang had been working for him for the past few days, doing a great job. Naturally, Su Yang wouldn't abandon his position. A few seconds later, the aftermath subsided, and the scene returned to calm. Su Yang immediately looked forward and saw that the underpants talisman had been reduced to ash, while the cucumber-like object remained intact. Fortunately, the underpants talisman had neutralized the object's attack, rendering it inert and hovering quietly in midair, emitting a gentle glow. My treasure, Su Shanju, upon seeing this, quickly stood up, attempting to retake control of the object. But Su Yang was quick-witted and leaped forward, seizing it with his hands. With a domineering smile, he declared, "Excuse me, it's mine now, Su Xuantian." Su Shanju's rage was uncontrollable, his eyes cold and his teeth gnashing as he glared at Su Yang. But then, he reacted and couldn't help but take a few steps back, a flicker of fear in his eyes. Su Xuantian, I don't have any deep hatred against you. You want the snow lotus, you want the energy stone, I'll give them to you. Let's shake hands and make peace, okay? Upon hearing this, Su Yang's gaze fell on Su Shanju and said calmly, Old man, you have no inner energy left now. I can kill you with just a wave of my hand. Isn't it too late to talk about shaking hands and making peace now? As he spoke, Su Yang took a step forward, a hint of murderous intent in his eyes. Su Shanju panicked, his expression extremely terrified. He had held a high position for decades, serving as the Grand Elder of the Shadowless sect, second only to the Emperor and above all others, cultivating the aura of a superior. Yet, faced with life and death, Su Shanju is terrified. After a moment's mental struggle, he finally surrendered, gritted his teeth, and said, Su Xuantian, I admit my skills are inferior to yours, but you must not kill me. I've been at the pinnacle of the Earth sect for many years and am on the verge of advancement to the Heaven sect. I don't want to die. What do you want in exchange for letting me go, huh? Su Yang paused, pondering for a moment before saying, Su Shanju, if you want me to spare your life, you must submit to me and become my servant. From now on, you will serve only me. Okay. As he spoke, Su Yang channeled his spiritual energy, and a water dragon formed in his palm. If Su Shanju refused, he would annihilate him without hesitation, eliminating any future trouble. Servant? Su Shanju's face darkened at Su Yang's words, a complex expression forming. He had cultivated for nearly 100 years, a dignified Earth sect master at the pinnacle. If he hadn't found life so comfortable in the Shadowless sect, he could have founded his own sect and become its leader. Now, a young man in his early 20s was actually asking to take him in as a servant. For a moment, Su Shanju couldn't accept it. But then, sensing the threat of the water dragon in Su Yang's palm, Su Shanju began to struggle internally. Su Xuantian, you win. After a pause of several seconds, Su Shanju sighed, finally resigned, and knelt on his knees, saying, Master, Su Shanju, will risk everything for you. If I break this oath, I will die a miserable death. I never believed in oaths. Su Yang smiled faintly, then formed a seal with his hands, injecting the master servant's contract into Su Shanju's body. He then said, Now, your life is completely in my hands. If you dare to betray me, I can instantly obliterate your soul with a single thought. I dare not. Su Shanju felt that Su Yang was not lying. It was as if a sharp sword was hovering in his mind, ready to shatter his soul at any moment. What kind of bizarre method was this? It was terrifying. It seemed that the master's background was extraordinary. Yes, at this moment, Su Yang looked at Su Shanju and nodded with satisfaction. He had always been ruthless and decisive in killing his enemies. Originally, Su Yang contemplated killing Su Shanju, but then realized his considerable strength and the Su family's current crisis suggested cultivating him, perhaps offering him some future assistance. So, Su Yang spared Su Shanju's life. With his soul contract as a check, he would never dare betray him. After subduing Su Shanju, Su Yang walked toward a nearby truck and removed the black cloth. Over 1,000 energy stones came into view, neatly arranged. Haha, effortless acquisition. With a wave of his hand, Su Yang collected all the energy stones into his storage ring. Gone. Gone. Su Shanju was stunned at the sight, a wave of awe rising in his heart for Su Yang. Strange. This method was so bizarre it completely overturned his understanding of the world. Su Shanju, after putting away the energy stone, Su Yang asked calmly, how many energy stones are left to be mined in the energy stone mine you discovered? Reporting to the master, I have mined all the energy stones. It's just a small vein, Su Shanju continued. According to my inference, the reason why the small vein appeared in that mountain may be related to the treasure in your hand. It must have infected the surrounding stones, thus forming energy stones. Well, your guess should be almost right. Su Yang nodded, and then his eyes fell on the cucumber-like treasure. He looked at it carefully and soon found a few small words on the side of it, key to the East Palace. Is this a key? The refining material of this object, if I am not mistaken, should be stellar meteorite. This kind of thing is rare in the Xuantian immortal realm and is a rare refining material. Su Yang was full of curiosity and thought to himself, who would use this thing to make a key? Could this so-called East Palace be the residence of some powerful being? What could possibly be hidden within that a meteorite is used as a key? Su Yang had no idea. He simply put the key to the East Palace into his storage ring and stopped dwelling on it. Su Shanju, I have indeed consumed the 5,000-year-old snow lotus. You don't have to worry about it. At this moment, Su Yang looked at Su Shanju and said calmly, but don't worry. As long as you serve me loyally, I will find a way to get you into the Xianzong as soon as possible. Xianzong is the realm after Dizhen. The ancient martial arts system consists of Mingjin, Anjin, Huajin, Grandmaster, Dizhen, and Xianzong. The realms after Xianzong are rarely reached, and their methods are so miraculous that they are called Xianzong. Thank you, Master. Su Shanju responded respectfully, but he didn't fully believe Su Yang's words. After all, he had tried for decades but had never set foot in Xianzong. What could a master do? After all, there was a huge chasm between Xianzong and Dizhen. If they could reach the Xianzong, they could easily establish a mid-level ancient martial arts sect, and all the major powers in the ancient martial arts world would extend olive branches. Yes, Su Yang naturally saw Su Shanju's intentions, but he kept silent, intending to let the facts speak for themselves. Although he couldn't currently help Su Shanju break through to the Xianzong realm with a flick of his wrist, he could, by using energy stones and setting up a small formation, transform spiritual energy into vast amounts of true qi for Su Shanju to absorb. With sufficient true qi, even a pig, let alone a gifted old man like Su Shanju, could advance. You and Dong Wensheng should go back and recuperate first. Have Dong Wensheng fetch the herbs needed to replenish your true qi from the Juman black market, Su Yang said calmly. As you command. Su Shanju clasped his fists respectfully. Although he didn't believe Su Yang could help him break through, he had already acknowledged him as his master, and his attitude was naturally respectful. Next, Su Yang was planning to schedule a time for Su Shanzhou to come to him and help him advance to the Xianzong realm. By then, the Su family would have a trump card. But at this moment, he suddenly received a call from Guo Yi. "Master, something terrible has happened." After the call was connected, Guo Yi's anxious voice came from the other end. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.